What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, November 24th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. It was a wild night last night. Just a fucking wild night with a lot more glory than disappointments. But again, the losers seem to hurt more than the winners feel good. We did some excellent work. We completely murked that college football card. Finally attacking right when you know a team doesn't care. And this is how I went 27-9 in bowl season against the spread. My best bowl season ever, and I only beat the legend Big Ragu by a half unit in my greatest fucking bowl season ever. I only beat him by a half unit. But it was just taking advantage of situations when you knew a team just didn't care and wasn't trying. And I didn't do that in CFL last week, and it's been angering me. And so we did it to a fucking T in college football, and it was excellent. It was excellent. We went 4-0. We cashed so easily. Ball State first half, Ball State full game. Western Michigan first half, Western Michigan full game. Ball State, ball so hard. It was so easy, and it felt good. So 4-0 in college football, and then 3-1 in college basketball. The taint lost in heartbreaking circumstances. So I would have been 8-0 in college gambling last night. So then 2-2 in NHL, and that made me very angry because the capping was so on point. How the fuck am I not making money off of it? So I'm frustrated with the 2-2 night down 0.30 units. And then I'm frustrated, of course, in NBA 1-2. The idea that Ski and I had with the Clippers game obviously went against us when Luka was in. And the Blazers was such an easy cash. Loshak doubles up, but I don't. And then getting Lakers at +5 when I could have easily got them had I been more patient at +6.5. It was very aggravating. And, putting out my NBA record is embarrassing. I don't believe I was trolled last night because the game didn't end until like 1 in the morning. I think most people were asleep and unable to control my terrible NBA record, but it'll happen, and that's fine. So we had our NFL show last night. It was an honor to work again with Babano and CMAC. It went 3 hours and 15 minutes long, and so much work went into it. And then I made 8 bets after the show, and then now we have 31 games to cap. So I didn't bother going to my bed last night. I fell asleep at some point on the couch around 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and then woke up at woke up first at 5:09, but went back to sleep for a little bit longer. And so I basically am just going to be it's very difficult to cap 31 games, through and through. And so I did my best to set up a situation, but I also did my best to make sure that we have Mr. Gogster's triumphant return to help us break down this giant NHL card. I have Trot Wam joining us to break down this very difficult NBA card. And then I have Maxwell Smart, who's coming off another winning day. Maxwell Smart yesterday goes, what did he do? He went 5-3 plus 2.45 units. His look on Portland first half and the Portland State under, which Pete also gave out as Viper MB's birthday pick, was sheer fucking brilliance. And it was just nice to be a part of that and watch him cash that first half plus 175 so easy. So if you're wondering if I'm dealing with a severe lack of sleep, I'm not going to bitch about it because I love this. I love the opportunity to work with you guys every day. I love this. I'm so thankful. So it's not something I'm pissed off about. It's just a lot of work needs to be done. And I wish I had another 12 hours to do that work. And I'm thankful to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We got Real Deal Prime in the house, ready to go. Truth Teller, Cap a Lot, Pops, Neil P, Dan T, ready to eat. We got Cab, Astute Chaos, Gerald Jones, Dan getting his mind right. There's Sammy Culmer. Even that bothered me, Sammy. I mean, because I was on the over 6 when I talked about that situation with where how I kind of saw the final score, and even that kind of annoyed me. But and then knowing at that point I'd already bet the Stars minus 110, so I guess the only thing I could have done was bet more on it, which I probably should have done because after we broke it down, I was like, look, the Stars are the best bet on the card. All right, Kenny V in the house. Nuke Worker joining us live from Darlington Nuclear. Slatsy coming off a 3-0 night. Great job, Slatsy. There's Dav Fenn, Puzzler, Bonk Kui, Hoops 590, Tyrone Coleman. By the way, Sammy Comer's got to look PSG. Team total over 1.5 at plus 200 says ridiculous value. There's Piker, a.k.a. Seamus Ignoramus in the house. Andrew G, Sammy, J.A., Lance LaRose, Jason Folk looking at his early NCAA basketball card. It includes Evansville minus 5.5, Michigan State minus 2.5, Vermont minus 4.5. Will Drill app stay. There's Fat Wally, whom we love dearly in the house. By the way, the horse racing show is back in business tonight. Big horse racing show. I know a lot of people aren't working tomorrow night, so there will be drinks. I am looking at a little house on the east end of town, little detached house that we're looking at. Not that I don't fucking love the struggle of the one bedroom apartment in Parkdale. You know, the struggle when you're like a young comic or actor or whatever is part of it, and it's great. But when you're a 42-year-old father of two, it's not so fucking joyous. Rocks are 82 in the house. Dan Kelly said, I had Dallas Clippers under, loser in OT means it cost me money, but goes down as a winner on the charts. Yeah, absolutely. It's tough break. The Clippers, what they did at the end of their game was unbelievable. Okay, Birdie in the house. Piker says, whole action here. Some deep pocket sharps just finagled themselves a number on New Orleans over Central Arkansas, kicking off at 2 p.m. New Orleans should blow the doors off these guys. Minus 8.5. Book it, says our guy Seamus Ignoramus. By the way, I am in talks with Seamus to have him more involved in the show. I believe that will be happening very, very soon. All right. Thank you, guys. I would love to give a shout out to all of you guys. I can't because we have so much work to do. There is Dommy Gun in the house. God, he's rolling so hard. Just balling so hard. By the way, I'm probably going to keep this apartment for a little while. So if anybody in Toronto's watching, looking for a trap house, I got just the spot for you. There's Slatsy with the dono. Says, please, Jose, no breaking news bulletins today. My nerves can't take it. I fucking love it so much. I love it so much. Jose, can you please give us a quick news bulletin that Mr. Gogster is making his triumphant return? You're supposed to say that Mr. Gogster is making his triumphant return.
Mr. Gogster is back.
JB, Mark Schillingbird, Mikey Butler. Okay, thank you guys. There's Rodney Barton. Great to see Rodney back in action. All right, Mike Butler, Puzzler, Jared TG, thank you for the kind words. Astute Chaos. Okay, it's time to get to work. There is Spencer Carminati in the joint. Thank you for joining us. Remmo's moving out of Parkdale. Maybe. It looks like it, possibly. I think other people are going to want this little house as well. So, Remo says, yeah, I'm Colv Coleone, the Vegas King. Colv has had our back since day one. Much respect to you, Colv. We love you. You are family. James Parm. Okay, it's time to get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining us again. I'd love to give a shout out to all of you, but we got to get to work right now. So let's just do a quick review of yesterday. Ron Crawford goes 2-0 with his spreadsheet plays. Tampa. We talked about their lineup being more prepared to handle the injuries than the Philadelphia Flyers, also playing at home. Should have bet them. Didn't bet them. Did cash the under 5.5, and that was broken down during the show. Ron Crawford goes 2-0. He cashes Tampa. He cashes Ball State. Ball so hard. So he's 46-44 now on the spreadsheet play today. Taint, heartbreaking. Cincinnati was the right side. Didn't come through. And the say hey play of the day, obviously he's concerned. He didn't put in a say hey play of the day yesterday. He's down 1.06 units. No longer a winning capper on the show. Ski Profit went 1-1-1. He got the Lakers +6 when I got him +5. So he's 9-4 plus 4.66 units on the show. Again, I went 1-2 in NBA, and it's just, embarrassing. But it's happening. Let's not pretend it's not fucking happening. I went 3-1 in NCAA basketball. I'm now 15-12, 55.6% plus 2.15 units. But I shouldn't talk about me. It's Maxwell Smart leading us to glory. Max comes in off a 5-3 day plus 2.45 units. He's 31-25 plus 4.96 units on the show with an ROI of 8.86%. And that call on Portland first half plus 175 was sheer fucking glory. Then a 4-0 in college football. Atta fucking boy. Fuck yeah. Get that fucking money when it's sitting there waiting for it. And I didn't do it in CFL last week, but I did it last night in college football. Then in hockey, 2-2 pisses me the fuck off. Let's change that right now with the help of your next guest. I do have a breaking news alert for our next guest. New equipment. Our man, Mr. Gogster, coming on with new equipment. Let's bring him on right now. Pride of Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome back Mr. Gogster in the house. Mr. Gogster, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? How we doing? We're back in action. It's been a while. We got the new setup here. Broncos. We got the Ottawa Senators here in Belleville. Little Red Wings, little Team Canada. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Let's make some money capping hockey, fellas. Let's
make some money capping hockey. It's so great to have Mr. Gogster back. Of course, I will be tracking Mr. Gogster's action. You will see a lot of him on the show. And as always, we want to give you, while we can't and we'll never say the word lock or guarantee or buy this from us, we can't give you guarantees of wins or any of that shit. What we can guarantee and promise you is honesty and transparency, and try to find that somewhere else. You won't. Let's get to work right now, Mr. Gogster. It is great to have you rolling with us. There is a question in the chat about our guy, Ron Crawford, and he's having surgery this morning, something being removed this morning. And if we could all just take a second before we get into the hard work that will be needed in this show, because it's a ton of hard work, let's all just send our Ron Crawford some positive vibes, some positivity, some light, some healing energy, and some love to our Ron Crawford, and hopefully he will get back to us very
great
soon.
Great guy, great capper, long-time low bagger. Shout out to you, Ronnie. Hopefully everything goes well, my guy, and we get you back here soon.
Let's get to work, Mr. Gogster. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Boston Bruins 9-6-0, 3-4-0 on the road at Buffalo Sabres 7-9-2, 5-4-1 at home. KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. There was a possibility that Aaron Dell would be in between the pipes. I believe that's not the case. People are saying that it will be Tokarski.
Is it Tokarski?
I don't know. If it's Aaron Dell, I will bet the Bruins team total over, and I will bet the Bruins -1.5 immediately. But I'm not going to make that mistake if he's not in net. So if anybody could let us know what's going on with Aaron Dell or Tokarski. Yolmark on the other side, expected 4-3, 2.87, goals against average 908, save percentage. Dell is confirmed, says Chris Metcalf.
Yeah, I expected Dell. I'm expecting Dell. He went 14 for 15 the last game. They pulled Tokarski. I think Dell looked a lot better last game too. Yeah.
So you think that Dell can continue that here?
Well, that's their best chance to win, I think, is with Aaron Dell. Tokarski, in my opinion, Jim, would have been the bet against. I would have faded Tokarski pretty hard. He just looks like he's just not ready still. Aaron Dell, on the other hand, he had a couple stints in the AHL already. He's already been called back up, just how bad their goaltending's been. It's not a game I really like, to be honest, this one here, guys. I have a couple leans to the over first period and full game. Buffalo, they do have some scoring. We're getting having a brain fart here. It's been a while, but they got some guys back there. Buffalo, their defensive core is not too bad. I think Buffalo can still score. They lost 7-4 against Columbus. That was Korpisalo and Tokarski in net, but Buffalo, they still have some scoring power. It's just defensively and with Dell in net, anything can really happen in this game. I think we could see some goals. Allmark's going up against his old team too, right, Jamie? Allmark was on Buffalo for a long time, like 4 or 5 years. So a lot of these players on Buffalo probably know, a lot of practice against this goalie. So I lean towards the over. Dell, again, you can't trust Dell, I think, long term. And Allmark, in my opinion, I give the advantage to Buffalo's offense because for the most part, a lot of those guys got to see Allmark, especially some guys in their D-core. So I would lean to the over, Jim. It's not one of my favorite games here. Some Birdie in the chat there, he's saying pass. Mikey there, he's with Buffalo. I would lean to the over here, guys. Not a game I love though.
Aaron Dell is supposedly a great guy, character guy. That's why he keeps getting jobs. Him coming off the bench when he's not expecting to play and playing well, that's not. He's a character guy. He's not prepared. He doesn't have to have it all in his head that he's going in. I think he's the worst goaltender skill-wise in the entire National Hockey League. And if he wasn't such a great guy, he'd be somewhere in Europe.
Dan, you're very right. You're probably spot on with that, Jim. Yeah.
So I am going to stick with the plan of fading whom I believe is the worst goaltender in the NHL. I just needed it to be confirmed. Yeah. I'm going to move on and you were talking about Victor Olofsson being back.
Thank you.
The power play specialist. Yeah. Yes, they're healing up. The Sabres are healing up, but Bruins had their 3-game winning streak snapped in the 4-0 loss at home to the Flames on Sunday. That's now been sitting with them for 72 hours, while the Sabres lost their third straight game 7-4 at home to the Jackets.
That's both what you're saying there. Both teams are coming off losses here. Buffalo, the 7-4 loss, and then they also lost 5-4 against the Rangers guys on Sunday in like a 0.1 second. The Rangers scored that goal. So the Buffalo has been snake bit. Their goals, they've been 9 goals and 11 goals their last 2 games. So the over, what is it, Jim? I think it is a 6.
It's 5.5. It's 5.5, but it's actually moved 14 cents to the under from the opener. So it opened at 5.5 minus 107 at Pinnacle. It's now 5.5 minus 121. But you know what? I think Boston runs a tight ship here. I think that's it. 2,067 tickets in, 42% of the tickets, 92% of the cash is on the under. And then I don't hate that look. I don't want it myself, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's a game I'd probably stay away from there, guys. I would lean to the overs here, but Buffalo, they've allowed 20 goals in the last 2 games, or 20 goals in total between both teams. So you have to imagine that the coaches, they've probably been preaching defense a lot the last couple practices, or at least last couple days. And Boston coming off that 4-0 loss to Calgary. Calgary too is a much better team defensively than you're going to see Buffalo. So I do like that. The more you talk about it, Jim, the more I do like this Boston look. Just one I'm not. What line did you get on that, Jimmy? I didn't play it.
It was plus 110 initially when I could have bet it this morning. It's now plus 105 at Bet365. You can get better numbers in other spots, but I want to fade Dell. I actually have some interest in that over 3.5. I don't bet over 3.5 team totals, but I have some interest there, and I'm going to stay off of it. But Bruins minus 1.5 at plus 105 is going to be on my card after this show.
Yeah. No, I do like that one. More we talk about it, Allmark, he's going up against his old team, 4-0 loss. Swayman was in net too, I believe, in that game against Calgary. So it's probably, I do like your spot. Maybe even a Buffalo team total under the more you talk about it. But originally there, guys, just the way I've been watching Buffalo, they have been scoring. They have been really pushing the pace. So I'm going to stay away, but I do like where Jimmy's leaning towards after a 4-0 loss from the Boston Bruins there.
And that if we wanted to go under 2.5, it's hugely juiced. This market is clearly expecting a 4-1 Bruins win, which is interesting. But I think I want to fade Aaron Dell badly. And again, certain goaltenders that feel that red light, feel it behind them, can come in off the bench when they're not expecting to start and come in and look good because they're character guys. All right, nothing official for you in game 1 there, Gogster?
No, I'm staying off this one, guys. I got 9 bullets. It's not this game, though.
And I've got the injury page up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set each game up, hand it over to you, and then I will review any kind of injuries and anything. So if you want to ask about anybody, I'll have have Roto World and a couple other sites up. All right, let's move to the next spot on the card, of which I have already bet.
Next Friday.
Philadelphia Flyers 8-6-3, 4-3-1 on the road at Florida Panthers 13-2-3, 10-0 at home. We're at Florida Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. Martin Jones going to be in between the pipes. Flyers are on the second half of back-to-back after losing their third straight game 4-0 at Tampa last night. Martin Jones 3-2-0, 2.82 goals against average, 920 save percentage. And Sergei Bobrovsky's been very good this year, 8-0-2, 1.99 goals against average, 937 save percentage. Philly's power play at 15.1%. You can't have Ristolainen quarterbacking this thing. That was the whole idea of bringing Ryan Ellis over to this team. He's only played in 4 games. He scored 5 points. He's now out for another 4 to 6 weeks. That's a tough break. It's going to hurt your power play, but not your penalty killing. Vigneault's a good coach. 83.9% penalty killing. Florida, 18.2% power play, 81.4% penalty killing. Panthers coming off their third straight win, 5-4 at home over the Wild on Saturday night. They are 2-0 since Alexander Barkov went down with a knee injury. Impressive, and it won't last. So now they've been off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The Flyers lost 4-0 at Tampa last night. I'm on the Philadelphia Flyers first period at plus 135. I expect the Flyers to come out fired up, and I would like to take the Flyers full game. I just don't believe there's enough risk reward, but if it was between Flyers first period or Flyers full game, and I wanted the Flyers first period. And Eddie Euler saying New York Rangers playing the Bridgeport Islanders tonight. So very interesting to talk about that game, and we'll get there very soon. Eddie Euler on Ducks Avs over 5.5 and Leafs Kings under 5.5 as well. Slatsy says Panthers all day, 10-0 at home versus Philly on the back-to-back with Jones in net. So I'm opposite here. I do think that being off for 72 hours will hurt Florida. I also think that this is a very angry Flyer squad that's going to come after them in the first period. So I personally, but you've been so right, Slatsy. You were on the Flyers when they played the Wild, and I was on the Wild in that spot. And you were on the Panthers when they played the Wild. And so stick with your gut. You're killing it, but I'm going to be on the other side. And Brady says, agreed, Slatsy. I'm just staying away from this. Flyers are quickly becoming a fade. Just saying, I love this spot with the Flyers first period, and I believe Vigneault will have them ready to go. Let me just set a quick table for Gogster. This total opened up at 6 minus 112 to the over. It's now minus 111. Oh, shit. Let me go over the money lines. Sorry, this is get to money lines here quickly. And
it's all good, brother.
Here we go. We have Philly opening up at plus 185. They're now plus 201. So a 16-cent move towards the Florida Panthers. And when we go to the cash flow in this spot, all we know is 85% of the tickets are on the Florida Panthers. So a big move to, wow, let me just see. This is a huge move here.
Do we have confirmation on Bobrovsky there, Jimmy? I'm kind of expecting night maybe here.
Wow, I got destroyed on this market move. Absolutely destroyed. What an ass I am. This is one of the worst. I just start dripping with sweat immediately. So this is
going to be a back-to-back, and they got Martin Jones. People see Martin Jones in a back-to-back for Philly. They probably and the way the Florida's been playing, like the public's probably smashing this Florida team right now.
This morning was plus 150 for the Flyers very early, 4 or 5 in the morning. It was plus 150 full game and plus 135 first period. Now it's plus 165 first period and plus 195 full game. A 45-cent move towards the Panthers, and I look like an asshole. What a mistake here. Take it away, Gogster, Flyers, Panthers.
Oh, I appreciate the guys in the chat are just saying Bobrovsky's confirmed, so that's good to know. Barkov's not coming back, is he? Like, well, what's going on with that line? That's kind of puzzling. I'm not too sure. I would have thought Knight maybe would have started here, just Philly on a back-to-back. Knight's actually 4-0 at home this year. Bobrovsky starting. I still think he's hit and miss, this guy, Bobrovsky. He's very streaky. When he's playing well, he's great, but I don't know. I kind of lean towards an over here. I do think Philly's going to have a much better game. They seem to just Tampa Bay played a pissed off game. I was watching that game last night, and Philly, they were trying, Jim. They were pushing the puck. It was a fast-paced game, but Vasilevsky had a great night. And the defense, or for the most part, Tampa was just playing a very strong game, made it really tough on Philly. So the Flyers are going to come up against a Florida team that, for the most part, defensively, they're not nearly as good as Tampa Bay. The Florida's penalty kill is 73% in the month of November. So if Philly can get to the power play, it'd be nice. They're only 9% though in the month of November on the power play, Philadelphia. So this is another game I don't have any action on, Jim. Jones, he's 2-1 with a .933 save percentage, 2.03 goals against. So Jones is actually doing all right. And replacement for Carter Hart. So it's not a game I like by any means. I'm going to stay away from this one. Jimmy on the first period money line. I do like that. I think there's going to be some goals here. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in these games with no matches tomorrow due to the Thanksgiving. I think they're going to kind of lay it on the line. Not a game I like, though. I don't mind your play there on Philly, Jim. It's just I have a tough time trusting Philadelphia. They're very, very hit and miss for me, but I do think we see some goals in this game.
If the Flyers don't show effort in the first period, Vigneault's days are numbered. So I do not believe he'll be the coach of this hockey team if he can't get them to. If they're down 2-0 or 3-0 after the first period, then I expect Vigneault to be fired. The Taint play of the day is in. We will go over it in college basketball segment, which will be coming up shortly.
One more thing I wanted to go over, sorry guys, was expected goals for certain lines here. I got Philadelphia and Florida written out. Philadelphia's best line right now is Lindblom, Lawton, and JVR. That expected goals is 2.95. It's not that bad, but other than that line, their production, Jim, it's not the greatest right now either. I don't mind that play, but then you got Duclair, Barkov, or Verhaeghe. I know Barkov right now, so that was the expected 3.11. What I think is going to happen in this game and what the numbers are saying are two complete opposite things. So this is it's a stay away game, guys. If I'm betting my hard earned money on this, it's probably going to be a pass. But I don't think Philly's playing the greatest hockey right now.
And I don't think Lindblom's on that line anymore because he's only playing 14 minutes a game and he's got 1 point in 16 games this year. So they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they're desperate right now. So.
All right, let's roll on. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Minnesota Wild, 11-6-1, 6-4-1 on the road at New Jersey Devils, 8-5-3, 5-3-1 at home. Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Cam Talbot, 9-5-0, 2.95 goals against average, 905 save percentage, going up against Mackenzie Black. And by the way, those are Cam Talbot's real numbers. I don't believe what we saw last year. I do not believe that he's an elite goaltender in the NHL, which is what his numbers told us. I think this is pretty much who Cam Talbot is, personally. Mackenzie Blackwood, 3-1-1, 3.03 goals against average, 921 save percentage. He's the guy with the big upside. He's the guy who could be the starting goaltender for Team USA in the Olympics come February. Possible.
He's Canadian. He's Canadian at that, Blackwood.
I thought Mackenzie Blackwood was going to be the...
He's from Thunder Bay, Ontario. He's from Thunder Bay, I'm pretty sure they're Blackwood. I've been talking about it in the chat. I said, right when this guy gets back, he's going to be on fire. I think Mackenzie Blackwood's a top goalie. Yeah, I know he's born there. I don't know if he has some dual citizenship going on, but yeah, Thunder Bay, I've always respected that coming from the north of Canada. This guy is a stellar goalie. When you're looking at both these guys, I do agree with Jimmy. I think Blackwood's definitely a guy of the future, and Talbot's a guy of the past. So
I thought the whole
Treach is from Thunder Bay. What's that, Jim?
I thought the whole idea that he needed to get vaccinated was because the American Olympic team was pressuring him. Wow. Okay. My bad. Good call there.
Oh, we're taking him, Jim. He's one of ours.
So Wild coming in off back-to-back 5-4 losses at Florida on Saturday and at Tampa on Sunday. I'm backing Wild -1 here. I got the -1 line at +122. That's a money line at -130 and a puck line at +180. I watched that Devils game against Tampa, and I'm telling you, when Tampa plays sloppy, they don't have the skill. And New Jersey completely took over that game in the third period. It was an over waiting to be bet. It was Saturday, and I had other things going on, and I didn't bet it, but I did watch it. So there's been no movement in this game. Minnesota opened up at -114. They're now at -112. Interesting. I'm getting bad betting all these things last night at 2 and 3 in the morning. It looks like it's really hurt me in this spot. Let's go over to the cash flow here. Again, I got -130. Bet365 is hanging in the -120. Minnesota, there's 76% of the tickets on Minnesota, 52% of the cash. So the Sharps are on the Devils in this spot. 64% tickets, 92% cash on the under here. And Fanatical Jim says Devil sporting those new sweaters and hats soon. I'm already trying to change the mojo. Brady says my least favorite bet I've made, Wild in regulation. Hughes will be back in a few weeks, so Devils will be buy low when he gets back, which means cash. Take it away, Gogster, Wild Devils.
So somehow, Jimmy, you've sniped another game that I haven't had any action on. But this one here, Minnesota, New Jersey, I had a lean to my famous no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here. Defensively, the Devils guys, they've brought in two studs in Dougie Hamilton and Graves from Colorado. With those two guys on the back end, over time, they're going to be a lot more solid, especially with Blackwood and net. It's just once they get there, like Birdie's saying, get Hughes back, which is they're pretty much their star, their playmaker up front. This team, they just need to get their offense more consistent with Lindy Ruff. And I think this team could be just like Birdie's saying, they're buy low right now. I don't know if I like them here. Minnesota's coming off 2 5-4 losses down in Florida and Tampa Bay on the road. So the they're going to be eager to chomp at the bit. So that's why I didn't play this no goal in the first 9 minutes 30 seconds, just because I do think Minnesota's pissed off. I have a lean here in my notes to Minnesota. I also lean to the no goal of 9 minutes 30 seconds, but probably a game I'm going to stay off. New Jersey only has a 69% penalty kill right now, guys, in the month of November. Minnesota 86. So it's a real tough game. In my opinion, I would lean towards Minnesota here. But Blackwood's playing really good hockey, guys. He's probably a top 5 goalie right now in the league, top 3, I'd say. So it's a game I'm not going to have any action on, but I would lean towards Minnesota with you there, Jim. What number do you get?
I got a bad number. I'm looking at it right now. I could get -110 and +195. So this is another spot. Jesus, I'm really bothersome where I always think that I will beat the market and I should get it immediately. And that's not happening today. By the way, Dean Evison will have these guys ready to go. He'll have these guys ready to go. Back-to-back losses while they put up 4 goals in both of them, and then they sit on that for 72 hours, come up to play the Devils. So, but a mistake, another market moving against me. So Wild -1 for me. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 7 p.m. Eastern. Vancouver Canucks 6-11-2, 3-5-1 on the road. At Pittsburgh Penguins 8-6-4, 4-4-2 at home. PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thatcher Demko going up against Tristan Jarry. Demko 6-8-1, 3.07 goals against average, 905 save percentage. Jarry 8-4-3, 2.09 goals against average, 930 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Vancouver's power play at 16.2%. Their penalty killing atrocious, 62.3%. The fact is that Aquilini has so much involvement with the general manager. He's basically making these moves, so much involvement with the coaching and decisions that are made around that he can't fire these guys because he's the fucking blame. Pittsburgh's power play is at 11.1%, penalty killings at 89.6%.
Rotation.
Their power play, you take Malkin off of that power play, and it goes from 25% down to 11. The Canucks are coming off their 6th loss in 7 games, 1-0 at home to the Blackhawks on Sunday. They come home from Pittsburgh comes home from a very successful 3-0 road trip with wins over the Habs, Leafs, and Jets by a combined score of 11-1. They closed up with an impressive 3-1 win at Winnipeg on Monday. I can understand why everybody would be on Pittsburgh. There's been a 20-cent move towards them, -198 to -218, and the total here is let's move back to this total. This total opened up at 5.5 -119. There's been no movement at Pinnacle. And when we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have where is the Pittsburgh here? We have 1,387 tickets in. All we know is 88% of the tickets are on the Penguins, 52% of tickets, 67% of cash on the over. You know, one of the famous moves in gambling is when a team's on a huge winning streak and then they switch cities. Now that doesn't work because Pittsburgh was on the road in 3 different cities, but they looked so good on the road. Are they going to have that same sharpness at home? I'm not sure. I mean, it's Pittsburgh or no bet, and I made no bet. Is there a spot for you here?
You know what? I'm just talking myself almost into Vancouver first period money line here, Jim. I think this could. Vancouver's coming off that 1-0 loss to Chicago. They didn't even score a damn goal. The shit's getting real in Vancouver. They got fire lit under their ass, in every single game. I think this could be a sneaky spot for Vancouver first period money line. I haven't played it. It just kind of popped in my head right now, to be honest, guys. The more Jimmy was talking about it. But the last time these guys played, listen to this, Jimmy. Demko and Jarry, there was 7.14 goals against for goals against for Demko and 5.72 for Jarry. So this game was like a 7-5 last time they played. That just tells me that Vancouver can both teams can get to them, to each goalie. I have some leans to the over, but I think first period money line on Vancouver could be a sneaky play. Vancouver could still lose the game. Pittsburgh, after that, nice 3-game road trip coming back home, maybe it's all about the number, guys. If you can get a nice plus number on Vancouver here, I don't unfortunately have that up, Jimmy. I don't know if you can pull that up, a Vancouver money line first period. I think it would be almost more of a 45, 55%. So if we can get like plus 150, 160 on that.
That's exactly what it is at Bet365, plus 150.
Plus 150, I think. You know what? I'm going to add that. I think that's a good play there.
I'm going to shop around for you. I'm going to pull Pinnacle up and see what you can get. But let's give you.
Billy's got 158. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 150, 160 range. I think that's worth the play there. Billy Friedrich's got 158 at bookmaker. So
Okay, we'll use that right now, but I will take a look at Pinnacle. Yeah. I don't want anything to do with these Canucks. It's just an absolute garbage fire.
So, I agree. I think after, especially losing, Jim, what was this game? 1-0 loss to Chicago. Like whenever a team comes off especially a 1-0 loss to Chicago, like you couldn't score against them. I know you're saying like, well, why do you think they can score against Pittsburgh? Hockey's just weird like that, guys. I do think Vancouver, I have a feeling they're going to come out hot first period. Pittsburgh, feeling fat and happy after those 3 games up in Canada. I think it's a sneaky spot. If this number was, my plus 120, plus 130, I'd probably stay off, but I think we're getting a little bit of value there, guys. Plus 150. Let's do it.
Plus 150 at a bookmaker. Thank you for helping us with the line shopping. All we had to do was wait one more year with these terrible contracts. Instead, we ship them to Arizona and grab Oliver Ekman-Larsson at $7 million per, bring in another small forward in Connor Garland. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable that these so-called professionals can keep making the same mistakes, keep bringing in the bad contracts, keep bringing in small forwards. I mean, Jesus.
It's a real head scratcher. I hear you. It's tough to swallow.
Slide says I want to see Jimmy's head explode if they trade JT Miller. You know what? I want JT Miller to have a good life. Go play for a good hockey team that you want to come to the rink with. This is just abysmal. And then I got destroyed on the social media stuff when we made the trade. Everyone was so excited about bringing in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, getting rid of these contracts. All we had to do was wait one more year to finally not have these contracts under our belt, but we couldn't even do that. Just a bunch of fucking idiots. All right, Canucks first period for
first period, guys.
I'm going to see if I can get a better line than that. We move on 7 p.m. Eastern. Montreal Canadiens 5-13-2, 1-7-1 on the road at Washington Capitals 11-3-5, 5-1-3 at home. Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. When Trevor Linden, who is arguably the greatest Canuck in history, arguably because of the incredible stuff that the Sedins did, and there's more guys, that are huge parts of our Canuck lore, and guys that I love like Jack McElhargy and Harold Sneps and Stan the Steamer Schmiel. But when Trevor Linden needs to resign from your front office, maybe you should start looking around and going, what would make the greatest Canuck want to have nothing to do with this fucking brass? I mean, just unbelievable. Makes me so angry. Okay, 7 p.m. Get that out of me. I'm about to fucking smash something. 7 p.m. Montreal Canadiens 5-13-2, 1-7-1 on the road at Washington Capitals, 11-3-5, 5-1-3 at home. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. Jake Allen, 4-8-1, 2.78 goals against average, 905 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Ilya Samsonov, 6-0-1, 2.11 goals against average, 924 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Ilya Samsonov heating up, and this Washington Capitals team knows exactly what they are without Oshie and Backstrom. They're a one-line team and a power play team, even though their power play is only at 16.7%. Because Backstrom and Oshie are snipers, and they're playing really tight defensive hockey. Now you can't play it over and over and over again. At some point, it's going to slip, and that's what happened in that 5-2 loss at Seattle. They had just shut out the Kings and Sharks back to back.
Yeah,
Canadiens snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 6-3 win at home over Nashville on Saturday night. The Canadiens power play or penalty killing at 69.2%, just absolutely abysmal. Let me set an odds table here for Mr. Gogster. This total opened up at 6. Pinnacle has moved it to 5.5. From a money line perspective, let's get over there. We have Washington opening up at minus 194. There's been a 13-cent move towards the Montreal Canadiens. And when we get to the cash flow, 1,752 tickets in. 72% of the tickets are on Washington. And we see this move towards Montreal. And 60% of the tickets, 86% of the cash on the under. And we've seen it move from 6 to 5.5. Mr. Gogster, I've got no move here. Take it away. Habs, Caps.
So these next couple games, I got action here, guys. Money's moved against me on this one. Allen's making his return here. So it was Caden Primo for a while and Sammy Montembeault. These guys were a huge fade. To be honest, I thought Primo was going to be going. I was surprised to see Allen, but he is starting. I still think Montreal is going to be a fade here, guys. I don't like anything what I'm seeing from them. Do I have their numbers here? I don't, but they have Hoffman still out and Paquette still out. Sheary, Oshie, Eller for Washington. Jimmy said it perfectly, though, guys. They're playing more of a defensive game. But, Jimmy, that was on the road. Kind of, I find when teams go on the road on that West Coast trip, they don't want to blow their load, for the lack of better terms, in one game. So that's kind of why they played a lot tight check and defensively. They're going to be coming back home now, going up against a team here in Montreal. That's just, they lost 6-0 to Pittsburgh. Then they come back, win 6-3 against Nashville. They're just so inconsistent. Ducharme, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of him. I don't think the team's really too focused right now. 76% penalty kill in November. I think Washington regulation, guys, I think they're just going to keep rolling. Goaltending advantage here with Samsonov. He's been playing really good, stellar hockey. He's 2-0 at home with a 1.48 goals against. What do we have here? Allen's 1-3 with a 2.79. I can see an under here. The more we talk about it, a tighter scoring, from 6 to 5.5. That makes sense. I would lean towards an under here, but pulled the trigger, guys. Washington regulation, you can, I think, minus 117, Jimmy. That was available there at Pinnacle, but I played it at minus 124. So I think jump on that one, guys. Washington regulation. I think they just continue to roll. Montreal they're just not playing great hockey. Once they get Price back in net, and I believe they still have. Is it Edmondson that's still out, Jim?
Oh yeah, Joel Edmondson. I mean, he was about to come back, and then he had something went wrong, and he was out again. Yeah. So they thought he was coming back a while ago, and let's just see what they need him so badly just for the outlet passes. He's targeting a return next week, so next week he'll be back. He'll be a big help.
That's what I'm saying. Once Montreal gets him back, they get Price back, they're going to be more of a bet on. But right now, just getting Allen back off the injured reserved or off the IL, whatever they call it nowadays. I think Washington's the play. They're just playing solid hockey. Coming off a 5-2 loss, they didn't look too good in Seattle. I think they're going to lock down ship. Even a Montreal team total under, I wouldn't mind that play as well. It's probably juiced pretty heavy, but Washington regulation, guys, minus 124. Let's rock with it.
So you got it minus 124, but we'll always give you what's available in the market right now, and that's minus 117.
Yeah, I checked on Penny there. It's minus 117 just before the show, so
perfect.
I'll definitely take that.
Birdie says no play for me in this one. It would be Habs or nothing for me. Caps historically play down and look past for bad opponents. Bad spot for Caps here. Bad. I'm talking myself in the Habs. Jesus. I agree with that in the past. This year they have not been playing down to level their opponents. And I think it's the injuries. I think it's not having Oshie and Backstrom and a bit of
accountable hockey they're playing.
And intensity from Ovechkin going for this goal record, knowing that he doesn't have a lot of time. But God, I love fading teams after a road trip when they fly all the way back across North America. So I love that spot. And I agree it's a bad spot, first home game. I agree, though, I would be on Habs or nothing. I don't want the Caps here after that. I don't think they're as good as their numbers imply. 11-3-5, 5-1-3 at home. I think that without Backstrom and Oshie and being a one-line team, they're playing at their absolute best right now. And it's okay. It's good. It's tight. But Gogster moving on Capitals and regulation. Let's move on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Winnipeg Jets 9-5-4, 2-3-3 on the road at Columbus Blue Jackets 10-6-0, 6-3-0 at home. Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Jets coming off their third straight loss, 3-1 at home to the Penguins on Monday night. There's a lot of drama sort of because of the trade that went down. And Dubois right now is playing very good hockey. Now he's restricted, but he's in a contract year, and he's showing his size and ability and why he's going to get paid a lot of money. And there's already been all these talks about how much is he going to get. It's going to be a lot. And I think that they want to win this game for Dubois. I'm on the Jets -1. I'm on the Jets -1 here. Let's see what have available. The Jets open up at -116. They're now -137.
Yeah.
Let's see what they are at Bet365, because this was the same situation. I got the Wild and Jets at the same price. So -130 plus 180. It hasn't moved. That's exactly what I got it at. -130 and plus 180 on the -1 line. Gave me a plus 122 on the Jets. Let's take a look over at the cash flow in this spot. We have 1,286 tickets in. And look, all the sharps are on the other side. 22% of the tickets on Columbus, 66% of the cash.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Let them take Columbus. Go ahead. We'll take Columbus, guys. I like Winnipeg here too, Jimmy. One thing, guys, whenever you got a goalie who's coming off a rest, I find Merz Lincolns didn't play. Korpisalo played last game. The time to get a good goalie is usually the first period. They kind of still get, the feel. Yeah, they got the warm-up shots, but first period is my look here, Jimmy, on Winnipeg. I took it at -115. It was like -120 when I woke up. First period, Winnipeg, they're coming off that 3-1 loss to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just played just solid defensive hockey. Like Winnipeg was pushing on them guys, but Yari was just playing really good. And they also lost the game before that, Jim, 3-2 to Vancouver. So you're telling me they're not going to come out pissed off hockey? It's probably the most pissed off hockey team out of any of them on the card, in my opinion, right here. Winnipeg Jets. Hellebuck should be going. Merzlikins has been great. He's 6-1 with a .930 save percentage at home, 2.28 goals against. The one issue, though, Columbus, 68% penalty kill, Jimmy, in the month of November. That's not going to get it done. But the same with Winnipeg. They're also 68%. So it's a game where you could see some goals. Columbus has been a heavy over team. They've been, I think, over like 5-6 of their last 7. So Winnipeg team total over. I think Winnipeg, though, jumped all over them early. I think Merzlikins, like I said, he didn't play in a couple games. Korpisalo played the last game. So I think Merzlikins, I think Winnipeg can slip one by them. The firepower they have, too. Look for Winnipeg, in my opinion, here. First period, -115. That's one of my favorite plays in the card.
And Merzlikins had a 940 sparkling save percentage. That's down to 918. Jackets coming off their third win in 4 games, 7-4 at Buffalo on Monday night.
They don't look good defensively. They haven't looked good defensively in their games they've won. So.
And Birdie says, I bet the over 5.5 here. Jackets are scoring a lot. I love the over here. Yeah. Dubois quit on the Jackets team. They have just as much motivation. Quitting is the biggest sin. Did Line quit on the Jets? I think they both
very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Disrespectful stuff. It's so we'll see. I think that the Jets having lost 3 straight is the most important angle in this bet. And now they get on the road and Paul Maurice will have them ready to go. So my angle is, but look, the Sharps are all against me. It's interesting to see that the Sharps are so heavy on the Jackets right now and the market hasn't moved. Very interesting there. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on. So Gogster's locked in Jets first period, and I'm on Jets on the -1 line. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Blues 10-6-2, 5-3-1 on the road at Detroit Red Wings 8-9-3, 5-2-2 at home. The Blues -1 and the over on Monday night was very, very easy. This one I find difficult. St. Louis power play at 28.9%, penalty killing at 82%. Detroit power play at 15.8%, penalty killing at 78.7%. And Wings coming off their 4th straight loss, 2-1 at Arizona on Saturday night.
They should have won that damn game. Fuckers.
And let's move over to the action here in St. Louis, Detroit. We have Detroit opening up at +118. They're now at +122. So just a 4-cent move to the dog, a 2-cent move towards the favorite. When we go over to the total here in Blues Wings, we have let's move over here. We have it opening up at 5.5 as a pick'em. There's been a move towards the over. It's moved 8 cents towards the over in the St. Louis Detroit spot. When we go over to the cash flow in this game, we have 1,033 tickets in. We don't know the cash yet, but we do know that 83% of the tickets are on the Blues and 80% of the tickets are on the over. We've seen the move towards the over. We haven't seen the move towards the Blues. I've got Grice versus Binnington. Mr. Gogster, take it away, Blues Wings.
Yeah, I got the same thing, Binnington, Grice. Some guys in the chat here, Birdie saying there, Jets didn't pay him, Dubois quit. Yeah, I do hear there. Dubois pretty much, I don't know if it was an injury or something there, but he pretty much pulled himself out. And that was the whole deal with Tortorella, too. There was just a bad turmoil there. But looking at this game, Binnington and Grice, this morning there, I pulled the trigger on the overs. First period over, full game over. Detroit, they're going to come out firing too, in my opinion here. They've lost 4 in a row. Columbus, Dallas, Vegas, Arizona. They really should have beat Arizona too. They haven't looked nearly as good on the road. At home, they've had much better numbers. Binnington, he's 4-2 with a 2.56 goals against on the road. They're coming off a 5-2 win against Vegas. What else here? Oh, this is the big thing here, guys. It's the line production. Expected goals from Detroit. They got Bertuzzi, Larkin, Raymond. If you guys don't know who this Raymond kid is, Lucas Raymond, he's been absolutely unbelievable. I think he played a bit in Grand Rapids. This guy's been just wait. They're going to score some goals tonight. Then you got Fabrice, Suter, and Zadina. So they got 2 lines right now with their expected goals over 3.0. St. Louis also have Barbashev, Thomas, and Tarasenko 3.21. In my opinion, this is going to be one of the higher scoring games here. Husso gets a start over Binghamton. Yeah, that could be an option as well. And even if Husso goes, I think we see goals as well. Husso hasn't been bad this year. This is just, in my opinion, guys, first period full game, -112 on the first period, -116 the full game. Yeah, they're coming off. Detroit's gonna. I have a hard time not seeing Detroit score at least, to be honest, guys, probably 3 goals. I do have the sign in the background there. You don't want to sound like a homer there, Gina. They're just right there. I got the Detroit Red Wings. Shout out to my Uncle Peter back in the day. Detroit guys, I think this can be an over game. Grice is another goalie, Jimmy. I don't trust Grice as far, he's a dumpster fire in my opinion. I do not trust Grice at all. Binghamton too. He's very hit and miss. He's been playing a lot of games, just like some of the guys in the chat were saying they could see Huso. But I think we're going to see tons of goals here. Just the amount of firepower both teams have, I think it's going to be too much for the defense. And Detroit, after that tough 2-1 loss, guys, they really should have won that game. They had Neto Djokovic in net too. I know you don't like him, Jimmy. We got to bet 5 years from now, I expect him to be in the league, and you don't. But I think he's the better of the two, and Grice is going to be going tomorrow or tonight. So I cannot see goals here, guys. I don't necessarily have a lot of numbers you could say to back it up, but just from watching these two teams play, in my expected goals, overs first period.
I was thinking about our bet, and if he's a backup goalie playing 10 or 15 games a year, I do not think that you should put that cash in your pocket. I think that's
a push. That's a push. Yeah, that's a push. Yeah.
Gogster first period over 1.5 at what?
We got that at -112, and I'm doubling down full game 2 over 5.5. I got that at -116.
-116. Your heads up with Birdie here. So he's on the under 5.5, and he's on the Wings money line. This is bad matchup for the Blues because Red Wings just keep coming. Wings in the under today. Blues more effective when they're pushing the pace. That won't happen in this. Let's keep rolling. I'm off that spot too. I find the Wings are a tricky cap, and I do think that the Blues are a much easier cap, but not 100% of the time. I that knowing that they were going to bounce back over Vegas was so easy, and I don't know what they're going to do here. Let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. New York Rangers at New York Islanders, and I guess there was hope. I mean, when I was reading Lamorello's quotes today, he was hoping that this game would be bounced and stopped, and they would do a shutdown like they did with the Senators.
Yeah.
We're at UBS Arena. Shesterkin versus Varlamov. This Islanders power play at 12.2%, penalty killing 81.8%. Rangers coming up their 5th win in 6 games, 5-4 at home over the Sabres on Sunday. The Isles come in ravaged by COVID and injuries and have lost 6 straight. They were last seen in a 3-0 loss at home to Toronto on Sunday night. Chara is the 7th player on the Islanders roster to enter NHL COVID-19 protocol. That was as of yesterday. But that's not just Tommy Gun says there's 9 guys right now.
Do we have those guys? Unfortunately, I don't have all the.
Yeah. So, here's who I have on COVID protocol:
Okay.
Chara, Josh Bailey, Anders Lee, Kiefer Bellows, Ross Johnston. Then you have Adam Pelech and Andy Green on defense on protocol. Then Anthony Beauvillier actually had a false positive. So he came back on Sunday. Brock Nelson is out 2 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury sustained in the first period. He's leading this team in goals at 9, points at 11. Ryan Pulock, lower body, out 4 to 6 weeks. So they've called up Thomas Hickey and Anatoly.
I just watched Bridgeport 2 weeks ago, guys, here in Belleville. So I watched a lot of these guys play. And I'll tell you one thing, what they do, they don't have enough talent to score. They love to clog up the neutral zone. They want to allow the least amount of shots on their goalie. So right away, I'd be thinking towards the no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here. I had a lean towards New York Islanders in the first period, but there's just too many injuries. And the guys, they even got this Zizekas guy. He scored a nice goal for the Bridgeport or the Islanders, but they don't have enough firepower. Thomas Hickey, even, he's not the greatest. Shesterkin, though, guys, this is with a full team. He is 0-4 with I believe, a 5.0 or 4.0 goals against the Islanders. So this is the worst team. Shesterkin struggles in the Battle of New York, but that's with Anders Lee, that's with Nelson, that's with Pelech, that's with half the team. They're missing so many guys. I did have a pretty strong lean towards New York Islanders on the money line, but after hearing all that, I'm going to do a complete 360 on this one, guys. And just the way they're calling up all these guys, they're not going to try and score. There's no way you can compete with the Rangers here, the team that the Islanders have. So this has to be a no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, in my opinion. I'm gonna play that.
we keep seeing these teams in these COVID situations in the NHL rise to the occasion. We saw the Sharks do it last. Everything's against the Islanders. The market's only slowly moving towards the Rangers. So
that's the surprising part. Why was the money line the first period was plus 103 for the Islanders with all the injuries? Why the hell isn't that like plus 140, 130? You know?
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting spot.
6 losses in a row, like
exactly. And my plan was to actually back the Islanders, and I was the same way as you. I couldn't do it. No goal, first 9 minutes, 30 seconds. What's the juice at?
So I just came up with it. Like I had this written down. Originally, I was going to take the money line. So I don't have it. I imagine it's going to be around plus 100, minus 105. I get those at Bodog in Canada, Bovada in the States. Because a lot of the other books, Jimmy, they got 10 minutes. And to be honest, I find the lines are even better on the 9 minutes, 30 seconds. And who wants, you got to take that extra 30 seconds. So I'll put that line out there when I post my picks, guys, on Twitter, Ego47_. But I imagine the line based on a 5.5 would be about minus 105, plus 100, no goal, first 9 minutes, 30 seconds.
Let's move on. 8 p.m. Eastern. Vegas Golden Knights 11-8-0, 4-4-0 on the road. And Nashville Predators 10-7-1, 5-3-0 at home. Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. I have Robin Lehner 8-7, 3.01 goals against, average 913. Save percentage going up against UC Yaros 8-6-1, 2.43 goals against, average 920. Save percentage. This Vegas power play is doing nothing. 11.4%. They've been dealing with injuries to key members of this power play. So it's just, and then you don't really have. With Wild Bill out, and then Chandler Stevenson is your best centerman, you don't really have. They thought maybe Nolan Patrick would become that guy. They don't really have a center for the power play. 11.4%, penalty killing 80.8. Nashville power play 28.6%, penalty killing 78.7%. Nashville Predators enter off snapping their 2-game losing streak with a 3-2 win at home over Anaheim on Monday night. Knights coming off a 5-2 loss to the Blues on Monday. That snapped their modest 2-game winning streak. I'm on Vegas here and comfortably. I love betting on Vegas off of a loss. I love betting on teams on a road trip when they're together and they're dealing with injuries and they're coming off a loss and they're a team with a lot of skill. And I don't believe in these Predators. And so I really like Vegas here. I got plus 105. It's moved to plus 100 at Bet365. Nice. So finally got something there. Fuck, man. What terrible news. And at this point, 71% of the tickets are on Vegas and 95% of the cash.
Perfect.
And the market moving towards them. For me, this is a Vegas win, and I love it. Gogster, take it away. Vegas, Nashville.
Yeah, we're in the same boat there, Jimmy. I think we get like a Vegas spot here. The Nashville team, guys, they have one line really, and that line's it's the Duchesne line there. Other than that line, they're getting no production really from the rest of them. Local guy here, Nick Cousins, he's just a grinder in front of the net. He doesn't do much offensively. They got a couple other guys, Petlick, I believe. The other guys just slipped my mind, but they're not doing much. They got just a bunch of kind of grinders, to be honest, a lot of AHLers, in my opinion. I think Nashville's, just like Jimmy's saying, they're overrated. Yeah, Yossi's great. He seems to be like a third line forward for them. Really, he's better than half their forwards, Yossi. And then you're looking at the Vegas team. What's our guy Slatsy here said it best? They're getting Theodore back too. That's only going to help, along with Stone coming back. I really like the way. I think Vegas is going to be a bet on team for the next couple games until, especially on this road trip, like Jimmy said, team getting together after a 5-2 loss, 2 at home. Nashville coming off a 3-2 win, feeling a little fat and happy against Anaheim. First period money line. I took another first period money line similar to Winnipeg. Plus 105. I got that at Vegas Golden Knights, guys. First period money line. I think they jump all over Nashville, who didn't look that good against Anaheim. Anaheim was kind of snake bit in a way and just didn't get many pucks on net. So yeah, I like Vegas here, guys. Plus 105 on the money line. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Truth Teller says 95% of the cash. Fade that. I would agree, Truth Teller, but 95% of the cash is on Vegas and just 71% of the tickets. So 29% of the tickets are on Nashville and 5% of the cash. That I'm very comfortable, especially in NHL. I'm very comfortable with these numbers. Yeah. What did you get on the Knights first period?
I got that plus 105, Jim.
Plus
I got that one last night too, so I don't know if the money moved, but I got that at plus 105 there, guys.
Okay, well, we'll take a look and see if that is the same situation. Let's keep rolling. Next up, Anaheim Ducks, 10-6-3, 3-3-2 on the road at Colorado Avalanche, 9-5-1, 5-2-1 at home. We're at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. John Gibson, 9-4-2, 2.36 goals against average, 925 save percentage. All the vets. Well, there's not a lot of them over there, but the ones that are there, especially Getzlaff and Gibson and Adam Henrique, they're playing inspired hockey. They finally have a good hockey team. They haven't had a good hockey team in so long. They're enjoying coming to the rink. Darcy Kemper on the other side with the Avs. I don't really believe in him. 9-4-0, 2.79 goals against average, 906 save percentage. Anaheim's power play at 25.9%, penalty killing at 85.7%. That's a recipe for victories. Colorado's power play at 22%, penalty killing at 78.1%. Ducks have lost 2 straight following an 8-game winning streak. They come in off a 3-2 loss at Nashville on Monday night. The Avs are rolling even with without the services of Nathan McKinnon, JT Compher, and Bowen Byram. It's very impressive. I want to bet the Ducks, and I almost bet them first period. I don't think the Avs are as good as they're scoring goals, they're winning hockey games, but these are really key members not in the lineup, and I wanted to bet the Ducks, and I just didn't have the balls. Brady on the over 5.5.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning, Jim. I think first period over. The way you're talking about it too, like they're a deep team, Colorado. They still got guys that can step up to the plate. Kadri's been looking good the last couple games, and Anaheim, they were in a way snake bit again in that game against Nashville. I think we could more. We talk about it. I think first period over, full game over. I'm not going to play it, guys. We got 9 picks on the card, so but I definitely would lean that way. Anaheim, they got a lot of firepower here and there. And their young kids there, Terry, Zegras. This Terry guy's been absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. He was a stud. The San Diego Gulls team guys last year had Zegras and Terry on their team, and they were bet on candidates the whole time. And even this guy we're talking about in a bit, Carolina, Jarvis, he was a stud in Chicago for a little while, went to the WHL. He's now playing for Carolina. So there's a lot of these young guys that you got to look out for. And Anaheim probably have some of the strongest young players in the league on their team. So Colorado did not look good against Ottawa. I thought Ottawa was going to get smacked in that game. So I definitely lean towards, like Bertie says here, he likes the over. I would lean towards first period, full game over. I'm not going to play it. Maybe I will. Check it out, guys. Twitter, Eagle47_. But as of now, it's no play for me.
So one of the differences between these two big favorites in Vegas and Colorado, we have a lot of money on Vegas, more than the tickets, which is important. And we've seen the market move. So the Nashville opened up -129. They're now -115, 14-cent move. Here we have a very similar situation with Colorado. 73% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the money line. And we've seen just a 5-cent move. I think that Anaheim could come after them in this first period. I really do. I think they could come after them in the first period. And then the Avs kind of wear them down.
Do you think it's an over or what?
Well, I mean, look, everything's been moving in that direction. All these games keep going over and flying over, and I don't trust the Avs goaltending, but I think that the Ducks don't want to fight fire with fire, even without McKinnon here. And this total opened up at 6, and it's now at 5.5 right across the board. So
I was going to ask you. I said I think this should open to 6. At 5.5, I do like, but it actually opened 6 and went down. So I think there was a lot of 5.5s last night, guys. And to be honest, last year at this time, these numbers would have been 6s. So I definitely would lean over 5.5.
Vito Garcia says folks are talking about regression for the Vegas Knights, so they're just decimated with injuries. So they have huge injuries. So yeah, they're not the team that we'll see in a few months. And I was happily betting against them with the Blues on Monday. I just think this is a nice spot for them.
You get 2 guys back in Stone too, and Theodore. Those are 2 huge players to have back on the D end and the forward group. So you're getting character guys back for their team, especially on a road trip. Perfect recipe, in my opinion.
I think the Ducks first period of +167 is
the numbers
a possible look here. I just feel like they're going to come out fired up. They had that 8-game winning streak, then they lose 2 straight. I just need them to come out fast. Avalanche probably feel good about themselves.
Both teams are going to be fast. You know what? I'm almost talking myself into adding the 5.5 over.
And then. And also Vito saying that Pietrangelo for the Knights may or may not play in tonight's matchup. He's not on the injury report. So,
and Chris is saying Houston's confirmed for St. Louis. So I don't mind that. I don't mind Houston being a net. I think that's still a good spot for the over. First period full game.
I happily bet against the Oilers last night. Losing Darnell Nurse is just enormous. Remember last year when the Blues didn't have Colton Parayko? And we were able to bet against them for a month and cash and cash and cash. They were a good hockey team who was missing one of the best defenders in the NHL. That's the exact same thing that's happening for the Oilers. It's too bad they're playing such a bad team in the Coyotes. And Scott Wedgwood's in goal. Scott Wedgwood's actually been okay. Look, I would actually have interest in Arizona first period, but you have to think the Oilers are going to come out angry. It's too bad. This is the perfect storm right now for us to make money fading the Edmonton Oilers, and then this happens. They
playing
play
the damn Coyotes on a back-to-back.
Who've won 3 of 4. So it's not like you're going to come in.
Exactly.
So it's just a bad spot. Too bad. Koskinen 9-2, 2.96 goals against average, 9-10 save percentage. Edmonton power play now at 38.2%, penalty killing at 86.4. Arizona power play at 14.6, penalty killing at 68.9%. This total opened up at 6. There's been absolutely no movement. So pick 'em, no movement on it, still a pick 'em. And when we get over to the money line side of things here in this spot, Edmonton opening up at -220, they're now -230, a 10-cent move towards the Oilers. And they have 85% of the tickets in cash on them and only a 10-cent move. I would love to be able to bet Arizona first period. I can't. It's just too bad. Hopefully the Oilers smash Arizona, and then I'm going to get a good number fading them as we move forward without great Darnell Nurse. Is there anything you want to use or do here in this spot?
You're damn right I do, Jimmy. This is my last play on the card here. Edmonton puck line. I'm not going to overthink it. I know Darnell Nurse isn't there, but you said it. It's Arizona. They don't have enough guys that can score. Krause, Hayton, and Keller, they're 2.21 expected goals for. Draisaitl, McDavid, Puljujarvi, 3.6. Throw Hyman in there, 3.59. I'd like to see a little more production from the rest of the guys. I know Yamamoto's been playing well. You're going to have Koskinen in net too. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be in net. Skinner's played the last couple games coming off a loss. So you got Koskinen in net. He's been good, 5-1 on the road, 0.916 save percentage. I see this being like a 4-1 game, 5-1, 5-2 game for Edmonton. So give me the puck line. I don't usually play puck lines, guys, just because I get snake bit all the time. They always win by one goddamn goal. Hopefully this isn't the case here. I don't see it. Just not enough offense at Arizona. Look for Edmonton to win this one by 2, guys. Plus 123. I got Jimmy on the puck line there.
Plus 123.
Yeah, I got to take Edmonton here, guys. I still think coming off a loss, too. These guys have done it a lot, too. They've lost 1-1-1, lost 1-1-1. I remember you were talking about that in the shows before, Jimmy. They were going back and forth, Edmonton, win-loss. And coming off a loss, going up against an easy team in Arizona, who's won 3 of the last 4, feeling fat and happy. Yeah, give me Edmonton.
I want nothing to do with that bet. Nothing at all to do with that bet.
Because you're a Nucks fan.
I hope no, just from a gambler. I do not. I think that fading Edmonton right now, and you can get plus 132 at a bookmaker. Perfect. Thank you for that, Billy. We'll add that right now. I hope you win easily and comfortably because the Oilers are a fade without Darnell Nurse, and with their record the way it is, we're going to make so much money off of fading them. So I hope if the Coyotes win here, it's going to screw up my whole plan. All right, let's move on to Maple Leafs, LA Kings, Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. So these are, for my money, the best 2 goaltenders in the NHL right now is Jack Campbell and Johnny Quick. Is Johnny Quick going to be able to keep this together? I don't think so. But Jack Campbell is. And Jack Campbell right now is the best goaltender in the National Hockey League. 10-4-1.
Appreciate that, Jimmy. Appreciate that.
I mean it. I believe it. 1.66 goals against average, 944 save percentage, 3 shutouts in a contract year. I mean, it's just perfect. And then Johnny Quick. So now, look, I can understand that they're cashing the Leafs unders, all these guys cashing the Leafs unders. And here I'm going back to the well. But I can't help myself because Campbell couldn't take Johnny Quick's job. Johnny Quick wants to show him why he couldn't take his job. Johnny Quick wants to get back to his status as an elite goaltender in the NHL. With these 2 goalies, I couldn't help but take the under 5.5. And I can understand when you keep going back to the well, it's not going to be glorious at some point.
It's going to be empty.
but I got minus 115. It's now minus 125. I know that didn't help me on my under in the Flames game last night, excuse me. But this is a spot where I really believe that these two goaltenders are going to shine once again. The Kings coming off their 4 straight loss, 2-1 at home to the lowly Coyotes on Sunday night. They're going to come out, and they're going to come out hard. But you can't fight fire with the Maple Leafs. If you do, you lose. You can't get penalties, even though this power play is only at 23.2%. So I'm on the under 5.5 at minus 115. Let's take a look at the market move and then hand it over to Gogster. Leafs opened up minus 148. They're now minus 166. An 18-cent move towards them. And then when we go to the cash flow here, we have just 970 tickets in. 56% of the tickets are on the Leafs and 95% of the cash. Leafs playing good hockey. So take it away, Mr. Gogster, Leafs.
Well, brother, I'm kind of against you here. I think it can be an over. Arizona, Carolina, they're 5-4 against Carolina. That's the kind of game I think we're going to see right here. I think it can come out back and forth. Toronto too over in the West Coast. Matthews loves playing over there, being a West Coast guy. Campbell too. Campbell and Quick. When you're saying Campbell and Quick, the head-to-head matchup, that's the only thing that worries me is these guys play an absolute stud of a game because they want to kind of get that battle and show who was the number one, who was the number one in LA. But this LA team is they're young. They're almost not young and dumb, but they're young, and I think it's going to be a back and forth game, Jim. You're saying that you think they don't want to fight fire with fire, but this team they've been not snake bitten, but they lost 2-1 to Arizona, 5-4 to Carolina. They lost a couple games before that. They've lost 4 in a row actually at LA Kings. So I just the situation of the games, I think this could be an over spot, 5.5. The Toronto Maple Leafs penalty kill though has been 95% in the month of November, so it's been really good. Just the way this LA Kings, if they come out, especially they know they're playing Toronto, one of the top teams in the league. I just think the offense is. I think it is going to be a fire, and I think they're going to be the goalies. If they play an absolute stud of a game, which they could, it's going to be, like I said, a head-to-head matchup. Former LA Kings goalies, but I have a lean towards the over 5.5. I'm not going to play it, Jimmy, but that's kind of my my angle on this game.
And you're not the only one who has that. Birdie afraid to make the bet, but Nate Dogg 420 believes this is an over, and he thinks it'll be 3-3 at the end of regulation. So he's looking at betting a tie.
Yeah. I don't mind that. Shout out to our guy there, Nate Dogg. I don't mind that at all, Nate Dogg. Toronto's been playing, they've been playing solid hockey too. 3-0. They won against the Islanders last time they played. Lost 2-0 to Pittsburgh. So they haven't allowed many goals, I know, in the last couple of games. But going on the road here, West Coast trip, I feel like it's an over spot.
We are 2 games away from moving on to NBA with Trot Wam. Next up here, we have Carolina Hurricanes and Seattle Kraken. We're at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Grubauer struggling, 5-8-1, 3.18 goals against average, 882 save percentage. Seattle had to deal with a lot of adversity in the beginning of the year with COVID, and they snapped their 6-game losing streak with a 5-2 win at home over the Capitals on Sunday night. Hurricanes had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 2-1 overtime loss at San Jose on Monday night. Carolina power play at 22.4%, penalty killing at 88.1%, and Frederick Anderson looking very good this year, 11-2-0 with a 1.89 goals against average and a 937 save percentage. Carolina opening up at minus 155. There's been a 12-cent move towards the Seattle Kraken. And let's take a quick jump in there. Gogster, what's up?
I was just saying, like similar to Anderson guys, Anderson and Merzlikins both had the last couple games off, or at least last game off. I think this could be a lot of overs. Pretty rare for me to have this many overs, but Anderson, Grubauer, Carolina's coming off a sleeper of a game. They had that long road trip. They're still on the road, and that West Coast swing, losing to San Jose 2-1. They beat LA Kings 5-4. You got guys like Jarvis. This young guy Jarvis is with Aho and Svechnikov. That line's been unbelievable, 3.574. You also got Fast, Stahl, and Niederreiter, 3.03 expected goals for. And Seattle can hold their own. Look out for Yanni Gourde. I think he's their number one player on that team. He's their heart and soul. He's their heartbeat. He's going to be on the line with Tanev and Yankrok, 2.99. You also have Schwartz, Wenberg, and Eberle, 2.93. I think eventually the goals are going to start coming. Defensively, I don't like Seattle. They're more of especially Vince Dunn. If you ever watch Vince Dunn, I think that's his name, from Lindsay, Ontario, he loves to push he's great actually at making outlet passes. He's kind of like a Thomas Chabot. He's not nearly as good accountable defensively, but he loves getting those, blue line red line to red line, blue line to blue line passes. He really moves the puck. I think this is going to be an over spot. JT Miller just popped up his day to day. Okay, that's interesting. But I think this is an over spot in my opinion, guys. Grubauer too hasn't looked nearly as good. Anderson is coming off some rest. This is a bit of a risky play, you could say, but still 70% penalty kill for Seattle. Carolina, they are a great defensive team, but I have a feel. I got a gut feel here. You can almost say it's maybe the more I'm talking about this, Jim, the more I'm kind of having a bit of cold feet. But low baggers in the chat here. I came here to give you guys plays, and I'm going to pull the trigger. I already played it. -114 first period over and -120. -120 first period, Jimmy. -114 full game. That's Carolina, Seattle. I was going to take Carolina regulation, guys, but something's telling me to pull the trigger here on the first period full game over, and I'm going to do it.
Good luck here. It's kind of risky, I think.
I know. Yeah.
Because the Canes, as Billy Friedrich was talking about, have this strange game on Friday morning or Friday early against Philadelphia. So they have to fly all the way across the continent after this game. They've been playing a pretty tight style on this road trip, coming off that 2-1 overtime loss at San Jose on Monday. And this opened at 6 at Pinnacle, and 90% of the tickets are on the over, and it's all 5.5s across the board. So mixed messages. So I will be cheering you on big, but I'm a little uncomfortable here. Let's keep rolling. Last game on the card, and we've locked Mr. Gogster into these spots here, these overs.
Yeah, and I knew I'd be on an island with these ones because I was just like our guy Todd Wetzel here saying Canes money line or regulation. I was gonna play regulation there, brother, too, but something held me back from clicking the button. I could be an idiot for not clicking that, but first period in full game, I think we're going to see some goals. Seattle, they can't keep being a dumpster fire for this long. Yeah, Carolina's my Stanley Cup winner, but I think we see some goals.
Last game on the card, Ottawa Senators 4-11-1, 1-4-1 on the road at San Jose Sharks, 9-8-1, 4-3-1 at home. We're at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Anton Forsberg I have listed. I don't know if he is expected by others. He's not looked good this year. 4.56 goals against average, 884 save percentage. James Reimer in the other side, 5-3-1, 1.87 goals against average, 940 save percentage. He's been very good. Ottawa comes in off their second straight loss, 7-5 at Colorado on Monday, but it was their first game in 8 days to the COVID shutdown. San Jose snapped their 2-game winning streak with a 2-1 win at home in overtime to Carolina on Monday. San Jose is a team that I do not want to fade at home, and they're playing a tight defensive hockey. The over opened up over 5.5 at -119. There's been a 3-cent move towards that over. And from a money line perspective, let's tie this game up quick. We got so many games still to roll through on this show. We have Ottawa opening up at +150, they're now +155. San Jose -171, now -173. So just a 2-cent move towards the Sharks. We have 75% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on San Jose, and yet it's a 2-cent move. If Forsberg wasn't in net, I would love to back Ottawa.
Gustafson's the man. Gustafson's the man.
Yeah, but I don't want to fade San Jose at home, so mixed messages kind of hurt me here. What do you think of this spot? Take it away.
If you don't mind, Jimmy, just checking the injuries too there. I know Batherson's still not in there. One guy you want to look out for San Jose, this guy played in the AHL team with all these guys in the Senators. That's Rudolph Balcers. Expect for this guy to score a goal against his former team. He played with Nick Paul, Norris, Chabot, pretty much this whole team who played for Belleville, where I am. Balcers was great. It was a great part of the team. I think he's going to score. I've been waiting for this game, actually, San Jose and Ottawa. Look for Rudolph Balcers to score a goal. I don't have the line on that. I'll tweet it out. I'm going to put a half unit on that. But I do think this is going to be a tight game, depending on the goalie situation. Forsberg, he's bottom 10 goalie in the league, in my opinion. He might be okay in a game back. He hasn't played much hockey in a little while there. Gustafson's been running the ship, but Gustafson's definitely a bet on guy. He's 8-5 with his career with Ottawa, which is surprising how bad Ottawa's been. This guy still has a positive record with Ottawa. So I do lean towards no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here. No play on the side of the total. I'm going to have a prop bet, though, Jimmy. My first prop bet of the show is going to be Rudolph Balcers, guys, to score a goal. And if the point 0.5 is nice, I'm also going to take that. Check me out, Eagle47 on Twitter, guys.
Yeah, and tag me with any additions so I know about them. I'll look up from. Brady says Sens got their game since layoff. They'll blitzkrieg this Sharks team. I don't think this one will be close. Sens roll here. That was my initial thought, but it's very difficult for me to back Forsberg. If they do that, then you have to think that the over is in play.
Do you know who's in there, like the COVID players? Because without Batherson, guys,
there's no Batherson.
Is it just Batherson?
No, they still have no Zaitsev.
No Zaitsev too. It's just the offense for Ottawa guys. It's really, they don't have the offense right now, and the guys they've called up from Belleville don't exactly have it either. They scored 5 goals. It was from Sanford, who had a hat trick. Like, good luck doing that again. I think it's going to be a tighter scoring game. Ottawa, I have a hard time seeing them winning. If Gustafson's in net, they got a great shot, and that game's probably going to stay under. But with Forsberg, I would definitely be off it. Belzers to score a goal looks like a nice play.
I agree. I completely agree. All right, let's review action. At this point, I'm only adding the Bruins -1.5 at +105. I'm on the Flyers first period. I got destroyed. What an ass clown I am. The market's gone way, way against me on that first period. I'm on Wild -1. Market's gone against me there. Gogster starts his card with the Canucks first period. Then he's in Capitals in regulation. Then I'm back to Jets -1, and Gogster's on the Jets first period. The Sharps are heavy against us on Columbus in that spot. Gogster's on first period over 1.5 and the over 5.5 in Blues Wings. I'm off that game. Yeah. No goal in the first 9:30 he was thinking about in Rangers Islanders. We'll see if he pulls the trigger on that. He's on the Knights first period at +105. I'm on the Knights full game at +105. I want the Ducks first period at +167, and I'm going to have to think it over longer. I'm interested in it.
I do like the number.
Gogster's on the Oilers -1.5 at +132. Yep. I'm on the under 5.5 at -115, and Cappers are on the other side of that in Toronto, LA Kings. Then Gogster's on the first period over 1.5 -120, and the over 5.5 -114 in Hurricanes Kraken. And neither of us have moved on Ottawa, San Jose. But I do find the game is interesting, and if it is going to be Forsberg, then I should move on the over. So if it's Forsberg, I guess I move on the over because I think it'll be a fast-paced game. But you know what? That's another spot I can think about longer.
Because I think Forsberg can be good in a spot start like this. I think he could be all right. And sleepy San Jose, Ottawa, just their offense. Yeah, they've had 5 goals, but I don't expect that to follow up here.
Okay. All right, there you have it. Great to have Mr. Gogster back in action. Follow him on Twitter. There's his Twitter handle right there at EGO47_. Mr. Gogster back with us. Thank you so much for helping us out with this big NHL card, my man. Any last words for these great Capper supporting the show?
Oh, I just appreciate being here as always, guys. Cap and hockey is nothing better than that. Best game in the world, guys. Let's check you guys out next week. There, we should be back doing this again. Hopefully, we come back with some more money in our pockets. Thank you to everyone here, Lanceros, Real Prime, Slatsy, everybody. I'll be in the chat again tomorrow, guys. So we'll see you then. Leche.
There he is, Mr. Gogster. We go right from NHL to NBA, and we bring in Long Beach's finest. Trot Wam in the house. Happy Wednesday to you, Wham Bam. Trot Wam on this show, 12 wins, 9 losses, plus 2.76 units. Average line -101. Wham Bam, how are you?
I'm all right, bro. Can you hear me? Everything's good?
Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, we're using
test there.
Yeah, we're using the iPad over here, and because the most important thing is we can hear you and see you.
Right,
and
cool.
That's perfect.
That's
we
perfect.
like it.
That's perfect. Big card, bro. I know we got a lot of shit to do, man.
A ton of work to do. So let's move over to NBA right now and get to work. I'm going to have the injury report up as well. Okay. So I'm just going to set a very quick table, a very easy table, and let you run. And although it does look like I'm not getting updates here, let me see. When was the last?
It's cool. I have Roto up as well
for a market move. Okay, no, I'm getting enough updates. Okay, but I'll have the injuries up as well. All right, let's get to work. We start with the Phoenix Suns, 14-3, 6-1 on the road to Cleveland Cavaliers, 9-9, 4-5 at home. We're at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Phoenix pace last 5, 8th in the NBA at 99.6 possessions a game, while Cleveland's 18th at 97 possessions a game. This is opened up. I don't have Pinnacle even dropping a number here at this point. So I'm going to pull up Pinnacle's site to make sure that is the case. But it looks like Bet365 opened this up at -6.5 with a 209.5. Let me see if I can verify that right now in this spot. And that's not true. So they've moved to 7.5 and 210. 7.5 and 210. And from a cash flow perspective, sorry, we'll have this all straight and smooth here in a second.
That's all good.
We have 4,942 tickets in, 66% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Suns, 57% of tickets, and 87% of cash on the over. Suns come in off their 13th straight win, 115-111 at San Antonio on Monday. And the Cavs coming off their 4th straight loss, 117-112 on Monday. Take it away, Wham Bam, Suns, Cavs.
Yeah, so the streak started off with the team with this matchup right here. So the streak is in. We have 14 straight games that the Suns have won consecutively, covering sometimes in the midst of that. Didn't cover last game against the Spurs. Now I'll just talk about that game first. The Spurs dropped the ball in that game, shot 25% from 3. Only made half of their free throws. I mean, started off, Jakob Poeltl missed first 3 free throws last game. I mean, they pretty much sold the game. Clear spot for the Spurs. I think this is the clear spot for the Cavs. I talked to our guys on the NBA Pub Hub yesterday after the game. I said the streak started off with Cleveland. It will end in Cleveland. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are live here in this spot. I do know that they don't have Evan Mobley. That's a big loss there, of course. I am a big firm believer in Darius Garland. Of course, I did bet him to win Most Improved Player of the Year at plus 2,200. I don't want Colin Sexton to go down, but come on, my guy. I need him to heat up right now, so I am rooting for him. For the most part, I do believe that the Suns are a great team. Don't get me wrong. Just to talk about the Suns, they're 4-3 ATS on the road, though. So, I mean, they're not really that good of a strong road team. They haven't covered every game on the road. It's almost about split, and tonight it can split here. I just think the Cavs are a live spot here. I haven't bet it yet. This is the game that I'm looking to make sure that certain guys are in. I think Darius Garland is questionable for this game. Cedi Osman is probable to play, but the Darius Garland news is pretty much holding me off from making a bet on here. But I am leading Cavs here. I think the Cavs, they could figure this out. I may be able to hop on them early, though, as well. They are 7-1 in the first half at the house. So that may be a look there for the Cavs to hop out early. But I think for sure maybe the Cavs are the spot. I do need to see Darius Garland in, though. I do need to see Darius Garland in.
Very, very interesting. Dan Kelly on the first quarter on the other side with the Suns' first quarter. Alexi saying, I agree, Cavs come out hot early. And Jason Bailey, yes, horse racing show with razor sharp picks this evening. So join us. Then, I can't get in until the kids go down, but I would love to be a part of that as well. First half Suns. Excuse me. I thought that was first quarter. First half Suns. So going
straight head to head. I haven't made the bet yet. So Dan Kelly, you might be scaring me off, bro, but Darius Garland is the news for me. So he got to be in. If he's not in, he's probably going to get a better number, whatever he got right now.
All right, so let's just take a quick look at that.
Well, I mean, he has the better of the number. My apologies. That's what I meant to say.
Let's just take a quick look at the injury report, the most updated injury report right now for these Cavs, and see what we are dealing with. We have Darius Garland, of course, a questionable, as you said, Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens, and as we know, Sexton and Mobley out. With
Right.
Garland, they are saying that this is questionable neck strain. Took a shot to the face. I guess it's different for guys and girls. Okay, let's move on here. That's Suns, Cavs. No official play for you, Wham?
Yeah, now that I'm right, we got it's just too many question marks for me. But I do think that the streak will end in Cleveland, though. That don't get me wrong. So, I mean, if he's in, I might be sliding on the money line, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Jesus, that's ballsy. Right now, the Cavs are plus 7.5 full game, and that total at 210. Do you agree with the market move here towards the over? 58% of the tickets, 87% of cash on the over.
So I would say I kind of do agree with that. Let me pull up the I believe for recent numbers per se, the Cleveland Cavaliers kind of been slipping on the defensive rating, ranked 25th in the last 5 games. This is a tough schedule spot for the Suns. Like, they've been playing a lot of games lately. This Cavs team, this is only their second game of the week. They probably only have one more game this week. They're pretty much going to be chilling. The Suns have a lot of stuff going on. They're on the road. This is probably a game that they're maybe relying more on, a little bit more on offense that rather than defense because of the tired leg. So I think that over maybe a slide play there, but again, it just gives me that I just might as well just take the Cavs, take the plus money, bro. That's how I'm feeling about it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we will wait and see. And yeah, it's Jetty. Because I pronounced him wrong, his name wrong for a long time, and then but whatever. Okay, let's move on.
I thought it was Seti. It's Jetty.
Yeah, it's pronounced like with a J or whatever. But let's move on to the next spot on the card. And my odds page is not refreshing here, so I'm going to give you the opening line at Bet365 at about 8:30 this morning, and then what it is right now 4 hours later. So that's how we're going to do this to keep this moving quickly. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Los Angeles Lakers 9-10, 2-5 on the road at Indiana Pacers, 8-11, 5-2 at home. We're at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Last five, Lakers second in pace at 102.40 possessions a game, while Indiana is 11th in pace at 98.00 possessions a game. Right now, Indiana is at -2.5. When I woke up, or late last night, they were -1.5, -2.5, and now -4.5. So I completely understood why the market was moving over towards Indiana. I just couldn't understand the opening line. And when I can't understand the opening line, it means stay back. And then also, do you want to back the Pacers after they completely smashed Chicago on Monday, 109-77? Now, I know Lakers are on the second half of a back-to-back, but you have to think that, LeBron's going to really, really try here. Let's see if that matters. Let's take a look at where the cash flow is here. 2,938 tickets in. 40% of the tickets on the Pacers, 56% of the cash, and it moves 3 points. Interesting.
Yeah.
47% of tickets on the over, 76% of cash on the over. Take it away, Wham Bam. Next spot on the board, Lakers Pacers.
Yeah, just start off with what I see on the injury report. Caris LeVert is out. I think we have Austin Reeves out as well for the Lakers. Other than that, this is the normal suspects there, TJ Warren and so on from there. But I think that the Indiana Pacers have been playing really well, man, as of late. Just over the last 5 games, they're allowing the least amount of 3-point attempts, and they're allowing the fourth fewest 3-point makes at 10 makes for opponents. They've been playing really good defense, low key. The same thing, as far as the Lakers, they've been pretty much inspired late. They've been giving it up early now. Like it's just like a flip-flop. Like first they were coming out winning early on, then they're giving up big leads late. The Lakers pretty much been catching back up late, just not been able to pull it out. Now, Russell Westbrook has been playing phenomenal, you know what I mean? But he's been fucking up as well. So he kind of started off the reason for them to have that early on stretch in that game. Him and THT just kind of looked delusional out there on defense. Just seems like the team needs to be playing a little bit more together. I think that Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron may be a success long term, but just right now, they're not really meshing well. I can see glimpses in this game because the Pacers do seem to find mediocrity throughout the games and things of that nature. But I do believe that this Pacers team is probably the best form that we're going to see the Pacers team all year. So it may be a good spot for them to win this game against the Lakers. I just don't think that I want to put my money with the Pacers here. So I may be a little bit biased here because I stopped. I lost yesterday with the Lakers first quarter, which I thought it was a good start. They came out with a 10-0 run. Fucking Evan Fournier couldn't miss. I was talking shit about him. He heard me, and I stopped. It bit me with the Lakers. I don't want to say anything bad about the Pacers, but I do think that they have holes here and there, especially if they don't have Caris LeVert out. I just think that they're relying too much on Chris Duarte, even though I like the kid. I just think that their future can be, it's really relying on who they're going to give up on trades. Obviously, Brogdon's on there. So I just don't want to touch this game, honestly. This is one of those exotic backwoods that Dutch would say, in my opinion. But if I was to lay, I'm probably going to lay with the Pacers here, but maybe the market move just scared me away. I'm low-key turned, like you said, like the opening line was kind of suspect for me. Honestly, I thought that it was going to be at 4, to open up. So the fact that it's now at what the number I thought it was going to be, that's the reason why I'm not really on the Pacers here.
Well, this reminds me so much of the Falcons-Cowboys game. The books put out a number that they knew they would get inundated with Pacers cash. Inundated.
Oh yeah.
In the Falcons-Cowboys game, they put the Falcons at +10. Inundated with Falcons cash. Went down to 8. Same situation here. The books put out the Pacers as 1.5-point favorites. They had to know they were going to get nonstop Pacers cash. And when that doesn't really happen and it moves to 4.5, I could not believe my eyes when I saw the 1.5.
Yeah.
And then you look, so 40% of tickets, 56% of cash, and it's moved 3 points. This is
just crazy. Like you said though, it's more like they want you to take the Pacers here, bro. Like it's kind of scary. And then LeBron is coming back, man. Like they haven't played that much. We don't really know what this Lakers team really is, but we have seen great play from Westbrook. Not too much from AD, but LeBron is back. I don't know, bro. Tough game, man. Tough game.
Dutch says, when did I see 1.5? I guess at some point, maybe one or two.
It was open. It's like 1 a.m, bro.
Yeah, 1 or 2 a.m. At Bet3. Oh, here it is. Bet365 opened it at 1.5 at 2 a.m. So even at 5:30 in the morning, it was 1.5. It didn't move to 2.5 till 8:51 in the morning. So this makes me. You know what?
I think FanDuel even had a 1 out there.
God, I mean, they're just knowing what they're going to get here. It makes me want to take the Lakers, but at this point, why rush?
Right.
Okay, let's move on here. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Charlotte Hornets, 11-8, 5-6 on the road. Sammy says tickets versus cash. Yeah, I thought I said that off the top. It's so 40% of the tickets are on the Pacers, 56% of the cash. Just wild. By the way. Yeah, it's just nuts. Okay, let's keep moving. Next up, Charlotte Hornets, 11-8, 5-6 on the road at Orlando Magic, 4-14, 1-6 at home. We're at Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Hornets had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 115-105 loss at Atlanta on Saturday night. They bounced back with a big 109-103 road win at Washington on Monday. They're a dangerous squad. Very, very dangerous squad. So 7.5. Bet365 had this at 7.5 at 2 in the morning, and the total was at 219.5. Right now they have this at 7, so a half-point move towards the Magic, and at 219, a half-point move towards the under. When we go to the cash flow, 3,618 tickets in, 31% of the tickets on the Magic, 67% of the cash. And then 58% of tickets on the under, 97% of cash on the under. Dan Kelly on a first half Orlando team total under 53. Take it away. Oh, it's okay. It's all good, Sammy. Don't worry. Take it away, Wham Bam. Hornets Magic.
Man, how bad is this fucking Orlando Magic team, man? They look like they could be a Division II school out here, the way they've been rolling out some of these guys. I mean, it's kind of year after year, after all these injuries that they have. And then also, they're not giving out the right information, not telling us that Jonathan Isaac is pretty much close to coming back in January. They're not giving us that information out. The damn player has to give it out. Just kind of a weird spot for this Orlando Magic team, in my opinion. No Cole Anthony here, man. No bueno if you're back in the Orlando Magic, in my opinion. So it's got to be the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I will say this. They have covered, I know they covered a lot lately, 6 of the last 7. But if you peel that back and you see what they did the previous 7 before that game, it was 1-7. I mean, 1 of the last 7. So, they're really 7 of 7 in the last 14, this the Charlotte Hornets team. But defensively, man, they've been killing, bro. They're holding opponents to the second lowest 3-point percentage over the last 5 games for the season, 9th in offense rating, 3rd in pace, and number 2 for the season in 3-point makes, percentage there for the Charlotte Hornets. I believe they're going to cover this number. It's just about what type of margins do they really want. It's really up to them as far as motivation, in my opinion. I think Orlando can find themselves feisty here without Cole Anthony. You're going to see a lot more RJ Hampton. I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly there. They're not giving us any props for that guy, though. So, he's had 18, 19 over the last few games. They're not giving us no props for him, rightfully so, because they're probably going to put it at like a 14 or something around there, maybe even 12. And we're going to cash that shit if we get the availability of that prop. So if you get it available, definitely do it. I don't have it available for me, so I'm not going to give it out there, and I don't see it either. But that's the only way I would probably be looking here on the prop side for the Orlando Magic. Other than that, it got to be a Hornets spot here. Obviously, we've been killing with the LaMelo rebounds. They got it juiced the fuck up, man. 7.5 is -138. We don't want to do that. He has hit over 10. He has had 10 more over the last 3 games. LaMelo Ball, if you do that, I'm probably going to be, that's probably the way I'm going to bet here in this LaMelo Ball rebound prop, because I do want to bet it. I just don't want to take the juice there at +137. Again, I haven't made this bet yet, but that's probably the only way I will be betting in this game. I don't think the 7 is something I want to lay on the road with the Hornets. That's probably not what I want to do, but a LaMelo Ball to go over, to have 10 rebounds, I think that's probably a safer bet in my opinion.
I like Dan's team total under first half on the Magic. My first half is at 54.5, but it's at -125 to the under. And when Bet365 does it, I always feel like they don't want action on it. So they'll just increase the juice, not drop the number, so people won't bet it as much. And like, you know, as a psychological thing, I like that look. And if I like that look, I guess I like the under as well, the full game under, but maybe just focus on the first half at this point. So I like where Dan is, and I'm interested in this under. It's funny that all this money's come in on the under, and it's only moved a half point. And Dan Kelly saw the Orlando team total under 53.5 at even money, but he missed it. Wow. And Bet365 not moving it off over the 54.5. I love that look, Dan. Great stuff. And we will find out if you are going to move on the LaMelo props if you tweet it out.
Yeah, I'll put that one out. I'll tweet that one out. I haven't made the bet yet, but that's probably be the addition I would.
All right, let's roll on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn Nets 13-5, 7-2 on the road at Boston Celtics 10-8, 5-3 at home. We're at TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. Brooklyn pace third over the last 5 games, 100.8 possessions game, while Boston's 11th at 98 possessions game. Both teams have won 3 straight. Oh, we might have updates. We have updates. Beautiful. Okay, we have updates. Perfect. Okay, let's get back to work here. So we have. I don't have openers, though, for some reason. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't have openers, but I have updates as to where they are right now. Maybe I'll just see if I can click on them and get the openers. So Brooklyn Nets at Boston Celtics. Right now at Pinnacle, we have -1 for Brooklyn, and this total at 216.5, and that was updated as of just under an hour ago. Let me just make sure that's right, and then I'll stop questioning everything here and move over to the actual site. And yes, okay, so let's just roll. So now Bet365 has moved it to 216. This is just slightly juiced to the under at 216.5. When we go over to the cash flow in this Brooklyn spot, we have 3,076 tickets in. 35% of the tickets on the Celtics, 54% of the cash. So looks like sharper bets are coming in on Boston here. Then we have 32% of tickets on the under and 60% of cash on the under. So both teams have won 3 straight. Brooklyn comes in off a 117-112 win at Cleveland on Tuesday. Celtics coming off a 108-90 win at home over the Rockets on Monday. This is the final game of a 4-game homestand for the Celtics. Wham Bam, take it away, Nets Celtics.
In this meeting, man, this matchup, Brooklyn has pretty much owned this Celtics team, man, winning and covering 7 of the last 8 meetings. You're looking at the Ashy Gate KD, man, came out there talking with a little ash there. Went viral there. It was pretty interesting there. There's nothing here nor there. He's pretty sure he's rich enough to get some lotion there, so we don't have to talk too much about that. But as far as the injury, it's kind of weird here is why these guys are not getting any line movement, why people are not betting the Nets here in this spot, because they're not playing Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is going to be out, I believe, for injury management, or questionable. He's questionable for injury management. When I hear injury management, I'm thinking you're out, bro. So that's probably why I said out. Because when I hear injury management, that means you guys don't want to play him to risk, or you guys don't want to risk the injury here. So I think Jaylen Brown may be out. Maybe it'll be a little bit of reaction here. So I might just hop on this Brooklyn team. The only issue that I have with Brooklyn throughout the whole year, before they even construct this team, as far as their rebounding, man, they're still bottom 10 in rebound percentage over the last 5 games. This Celtics team is number 1 in rebound percentage in that span. So I just think that they may have advantage down low, this Celtics team, even without Jaylen Brown. It kind of gives me my first initial read to pull away from Brooklyn here. So I kind of thinking that this game is possibly going to be a little bit more tighter than what people think. I think the under might be alive here at 217. The under for both of these teams, I mean, it haven't really been like a steady thing other than the Boston Celtics. For the Nets, they've been playing really good defense this year. So I think that this could be a good spot for the under as far as these two teams shooting really well. Obviously, you're getting some type of production from Dennis Schroeder. You're getting get a little bit better from Marcus Smart as well. I haven't really had his numbers up right here, but I do know he's been playing well. And also Patty Mills on the other side, he's been shooting lights out as well. So the only reason why I haven't bet this is because everybody in the prop market, I think they could go over their total. And I do like some of these guys daily fantasy-wise, like Patty Mills. He's been shooting 50% from three over the last 7 games, about 14 points that he's averaging. So I was looking more towards his points at 12.5 in this game. So that made me stay away from the under here. But that's the only way I probably will be betting. It'd be Patty Mills, 14, over 12.5 points, or the under 217. But it's kind of conflicting each other there. So that's the only reason why I haven't bet the under yet. But number one, it'll probably be Patty Mills because I believe he's going to be that guy for them until Kyrie comes back, if he ever comes back.
Interesting breakdown. My apologies. I said that Brooklyn came in off 117-112 win at Cleveland on Tuesday. That was on Monday. So both teams played on Monday, had Tuesday off, and are playing here. And both teams on 3-game winning streaks. And it looks like Jaylen Brown won't be in the lineup here. So let's get back to work. And everything's up and loaded up with the openers and everything now. So apologize for that. Let's move on here. We'll see if Wham moves on any of those. Next up, 8 p.m. Eastern, Chicago Bulls 12-6, 6-3 on the road at Houston Rockets, 1-16, 1-5 at home at Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Chicago's pace over the last 5 games, 15th at 97.7 possessions a game, while Houston is the fastest team in the NBA over the last 5 games at 103.10 possessions a game. But that is not necessarily equating to overs with Houston. They're coming off their 15th straight loss, 108-90 at Boston on Monday. So here we go. Chicago opening up at -9. That's still where they stand right now, although there are 8.5s and 9.5s on the board. This total, actually, that 8.5 must be a stale line. God, this is so annoying that this shit keeps happening. Yeah, it's moved to 9 at Bet365 as well. So we have this total at 217. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have 3,782 tickets in, 75% of the tickets on the Bulls, 81% of the cash, then 53% of tickets on the under, and 51% of cash on the under. And that Bulls losing that Bulls loss 109-107 at home to the Pacers was really ugly. 109-77. Razor sharp picks was all over the Pacers in that spot. Take it away, Wham. Bulls, Rockets.
Yeah, man, this is a tough scheduling spot for the Chicago Bulls, though. Let's just talk about that first off. They played just about – this will be their 4th game, I believe, in about 5 nights or 6 nights, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be a tough spot for them regardless, even though this team lost like 15 games in a row, this fucking Houston Rockets team. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like, they're clearly fucking tanking. They got Jalen Green talking about he want to be there forever and stuff like, okay, we doing a PR rollout already. Like, these guys are already looking for the future, letting the future kids know, like, hey, you're going to at least play with Jalen Green here. You're probably not going to play with KPJ if he continues to turn over the ball, which most likely I think he's going to play here in this game here. So he probably will be turning over the ball in this game. I like the Ken a little bit joke there, but questionable for Alex Caruso. So that may take a blow there. He's actually leading the team in assists over the last 7 games, which is interesting there. He's averaging just a slight bit more assists there. Which is kind of interesting there. I just want to add that out there. But for the most part, this is a tough number for me to back, honestly. The only way I would probably go here in this game is some props here for the Rockets. It sounds strange here, but I think that Christian Wood may be able to eat up here. Christian Wood, double-double type night. We haven't really seen too much from him. He's kind of been quiet lately. I can see him kind of balling out in this game. As far as this side here, as far as this total, I can only see over here, man, because that the pace is going to be there for the Rockets. It's kind of unfortunate, though, because, like you said, they're not equating to overs. They're playing at a high pace just because they're pretty much dead last in field goal percentage and effective field goal percentage. So that's kind of what correlates with them as far as its unders here. But it may be able to get it together against this tired Bulls team. Don't get me wrong, the Bulls have been playing really good defense, but they've been scoring the ball at a high rate. So I think this over might be live here. I don't think that the number is scary enough for me to take the Bulls, though, as far as this number is maybe a little bit out of my reach here to back the Bulls on the road. But I do think the over may be the livest thing here in this spot. But I do like and also I do like the double-double for Christian Wood. That's kind of where I will be going in. I haven't bet anything on this game either, though. Sorry.
And Vucevic is possible to return here because we've seen enough of Tony Bradley at this point. And if Vuce comes back, he's still got the conditioning issues. He's not going to play very much. I find this game tricky as we expect the Bulls to bounce back and then take the Rockets seriously. So at one point we were betting team total overs with anybody playing against the Rockets. I just don't know if I want to do that with the Bulls here. Tease is being cashing with the Jashawn Tate props. The double-doubles, a huge number. He's got plus 700 a little while ago. He likes Rockets first half money line at plus 235. Dan Kelly says at halftime he'll most likely be on the second half over. Says the implied second half total is about 110 right now. Jared TG is on the Bulls first half. And Matty Ice, there's his taint play today. We will be talking about it when we get into college basketball. But thank you so much for sharing that with everybody, Matty Ice. All right, no moves at this point. Let's move on to Raptors.
Matter of fact, I am going to make a move on to Christian Wood over 16.5 points. 16.5 points, Christian Wood at plus 100 at FanDuel. I'm going to make that official right now. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That was at even money at plus 100?
That's at even money. Plus over 16.5 points at even money, plus 100.
All right, Wham is on the board. All right, next up is 8 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Raptors 8-10, 6-4 on the road. And Memphis Grizzlies 9-8, 6-3 at home. We're at FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Toronto pace last 5 games 24th at 95.8 possessions a game, while Memphis is 10th at 98.4 possessions a game. This opened where it stands right now. Is that true? God, I hate not trusting this shit. But it says Pinnacle just opened this at 218.5 with the total. And when I compare it to this, it's down to 217.5 at Bet365. Bet365 has the spread with the Grizzlies as just 3-point favorites. And that is where Pinnacle opened it. So maybe this is working right now. After defeating Sacramento soundly 108-89 to get their first win of this road trip, the Raptors came back to reality in a 119-104 loss at Golden State on Sunday. They've now had 48 hours of rest before this game. Grizzlies coming off their third win in 4 games, a very exciting 119-118 win at Utah on Monday. When we go over
Lucky as fuck.
We'll go over to the cash flow. We have 2,345 tickets in, 51% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on Memphis. But it's just sitting here at -3, which reminds me of the Sacramento Kings line when the Raptors were very, very good in that spot. And then from a total perspective, we have 45% of tickets on the over and 73% of cash on the over. Take it away, Wham Bam, Raptors Grizzlies.
Yeah, and I say lucky as fuck because, Jared Jackson, 3 form is just so damn ugly, man. So every time he goes up, I just don't think it's going to go in. But it did fall in. He did get the game winner against Utah. Yeah. They went over that game there. They went over the game before that as well against a team that's playing really tough defense in Minnesota. Still was able to get up 95 points here. I think Memphis and over maybe a spot here. But OG is looks like he's coming back, right? I seen positive injury reports for OG. Now he's getting upgraded to questionable. It's unclear. But I like OG to be back here. You're thinking more towards this under because the defense that they're lacking without him. He just brings a different level of intensity on defense. I'll just say that. As far as Toronto, though, bro, I don't like betting against Toronto. But Memphis at Memphis, it's just so, it's Grind City. It's historically, a good bet there. So I would understand. I wouldn't bet take anyone away from there. I would shy away from the fucking props as well because let's be honest, once Dylan Brooks comes back, it just fucks up everything. So he's questionable to returning as well. So I mean, Dylan Brooks can be a great player, don't get me wrong, but I just love Bane. Desmond Bane is my guy, bro. Somebody on Twitter said I love Desmond Bane. And yes, I bet him when he hits his career high. So my guy Jimmy would say, if he hits a career high, most likely comes back down to earth. It makes it even more sense to bet his under today because Dylan Brooks is fucking going to be in the lineup. They don't have it available here, available so far. DeAnthony Melton is questionable in this game. That's a big piece for their bench there. Most likely he probably could be finding himself in the starting role sooner or later but I just think Toronto, it's just hard. It's hard to bet against Toronto. I honestly was hoping that you would, kind of talk me into betting Toronto today because every time I'm on a show, I'm waiting for that one cap that I know you read this team really well. You're really key in on Toronto, probably more than anybody that I know. I like Toronto in this spot, to be honest. I just don't want to bet against Grind City at the house. Maybe that win wasn't, maybe it's a motivational win. I don't know, but it was lucky as hell. So maybe I'm a little biased there too. But I like Toronto here, bro. What do you think, man?
It feels so similar to that Sacramento situation. You have a rested Raptor squad coming off that loss, Golden State, hanging out together, practicing together. You have the possible return of some defensive help against a Grizzlies team that just went all out to win at Utah on Monday. It certainly feels like that this is a spot for the Raptors. But when you look at this Grizzlies team that's 6-3 at home, even though the Raptors are 6-4 on the road, remember they started out 4-0, but you'd think that you'd get a few more points trusting the Raptors on the road here than the 3. And what does that tell you? That tells you that maybe they're just going to do the same thing they did to the Kings. Teron Hopkins says Raptors top look tonight. We have a lot of guys backing the Raptors here. Mike M liking Toronto in the points.
Damn. We'll have additions for sure, guys. I've only made the first bet of the day was the prop for Christian Wood. So I'm going as I go here. So I low-key want to hop on this money line Raptors. I'm not gonna lie, but we can hold off until later. We might hop that on later.
Let's move over to this Detroit Pistons spot here with the total down to 212. Down to 212. It opened at 212 at Pinnacle as well. Milwaukee, 15-point favorites here. 5-4 at home. We're at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Detroit pace last 5, 14th at 97.9 possessions a game. Milwaukee 4th at 100.4 possessions a game. Pistons on the second half of a back-to-back and a 192 loss at home to the Heat last night. Bucks coming off their 4th straight win, 123-92 at home over Orlando on Monday night. This Bucks team has been breaking that first quarter over game in and game out, and then going under in the second quarter. This trend keeps happening and happening and happening. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We have 3,896 tickets in. 71% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the Bucks. Then 59% of the tickets, 65% of cash on the over in this spot. Wham Bam, take it away. Pistons, Bucks.
Yeah, man. This is Cade Cunningham assist day, of course, like we've always been betting here. I haven't betted today yet. Again, I haven't been slow to the grove today because you never know who has COVID and all this crazy shit that just pops up out of the NBA here. So maybe a little bit patience is virtue here in this type of day. But in this game, I believe it is a blowout. Bucks are starting to find their groove. It's kind of what gets me a little bit skeptical on hopping on the Cade day. To be honest with you, I did cash with the Bucks first half against the weak ass Magic. I don't think the Magic are really good. Thinking about fading them today here as well, but the Hornets, on the road. We talked about that already. As far as the Bucks here, though, man, I think this is a smash spot for the Bucks. They figuring it out. The perfect balance to keep Middleton involved while still allowing Grayson Allen to get 3-point attempts and still being able to attack the paint with Giannis. Obviously, the rebounding woes are still going on as we, moving on, but they're actually playing just shooting really well. That's what I would say. They're shooting really well as far as their offense. Top 10, if I'm not mistaken. No, my fault. top 13 in offensive rating, which is actually better than what it was. So it's actually creeping back up to, it was almost in the 20th range over the last a week or so. So it's actually getting a little bit better. I think a lot of that has to do with Middleton coming back and them figuring out how to figure out the mesh with him and Grayson Allen. My apologies. As far as this game, though, I think this is such a blowout potential. This big number, team off of a back-to-back. Detroit did have a great game against Miami. That game, they kind of were, lackadaisical. And I would start off with our guy, K. Let's talk about him. Even though we did cash the 5.5, I laddered that bet with almost a half a unit, tried to get it up to 10. That shit didn't work out because he kept on forcing passes. Obviously, those are rookie woes, not knowing where there's a good post read to throw into or what cut is going to be made. So he's turning over the ball early on. It's the reason why they gave the keys to Corey Joseph. So I would say that's another reason why I'm kind of skeptical on hopping on Cade here. But probably I'll just be honest with you guys. If this is going to be a competitive game, the Detroit Pistons have been showing that type of competitiveness. They did cover against the Heat. We're winning in that game as well. Obviously the pedigree of the Heat pulled that game out. I could see them covering this number. It's just that if I think they're going to cover the number, I might as well hop back on the Cade assist, which did go down. It was at 5.5 at plus money at 114. Now it's getting a little bit more juice there at plus 127. So it is giving us a little bit more love here based off his performance from yesterday. I just believe that the Pistons may fall flat here, and this could be a blowout potential. So this is another exotic backwood. I really want to hop back on K's streak, man. If you've been following us on the NBA Pub Hub, I've been on that shit, but it's kind of scary, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a blowout potential, and my boy end up at 4. This hurts our soul, so I'm stay away for right now.
And I don't want to. The first quarter team total overs at 29.5 for the Bucks. It's been cashing, and I don't want to be late to the party and early to the funeral. Some talk about these Goiper saying basketball teasers are a losing proposition long term. I have been tracking every single person on the NFL Pub Hub show, and the teasers are getting destroyed. Unbelievably bad record on these NFL teasers by really strong cappers. And, let's wait till the end of the season to make our decisions. But I can't begin to explain how bad they've gone. So just so everyone knows that they're losing their shirt on these NFL teasers.
Losing their shirt.
Oh, man.
Getting hit in the bottom, in the pocket, in the prison pocket, you would say, huh?
Yes, as I would have said in the old days, the ye old prison pocket. Pistons Bucks here. Is there anything you want to make official at this point?
Yeah, again, it's just a blowout factor here. I do think that if it is competitive, it's going to be a live night for the Cade Cunningham there. Maybe we get a little Giannis not playing or somebody's not playing in this game, injury management, and maybe make it a little bit more of a balanced game and we'll hop back on it. But for right now, it just not right now, bro. I'll stay away.
All right, let's move on and let's speed this up a little bit if we can. Wham bam. 8 p.m. Eastern, Miami Heat 12-6, 6-5 on the road at the Minnesota Timberwolves, 8-9, 5-6 at home. We're at Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have Minnesota sitting as, it's all over the map here right now, but they're 1-point favorites right now at Bet365 with a total, at Pinnacle with a total of 212. And when we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have 2,143 tickets in. 26% of the tickets are on Minnesota, but 53% of the cash. Then 51% of tickets, 61% of cash on the over here. We have Miami pace the last 5 games, 28 at 94.6 possessions a game, while Minnesota playing 11th fastest pace, 98 possessions a game. Heater on the second half of a back-to-back after defeating the Pistons in Detroit, 192 last night. Timberwolves coming off their 4th straight win, 110-96 at the Pelicans on Monday night. Here we go, Wham Bam, Heat, T-Wolves, take it away.
Number 1 team so far in opposing points, the T-Wolves, man. 95 points they're allowing. Number 1 team in opposing three-point percentage, holding opponents to 23% three-point percentage over the last 5 games. Also, the number 1 in opposing field goal percentage, holding opponents to 38 points per game, locking it up, playing effort on defense. This is an under if I haven't seen one. If I haven't seen one yet on the court, this is for sure the under here. I think that the Heat showed us yesterday that, man, they could sleepwalk in. Maybe it was a look ahead spot into this game because they know they're going to have a battle in this game. Obviously, Bam was questionable on the injury report for yesterday's game. I'm not sure if he's on it for this game. I didn't pull that up there, but I will be pulling that up as we speak here. But for the most part, this team in.
All right. Okay, we'll get Wham Bam right. He's switched. He's going to get his shit right there. So looking at an under for Wham right now. This under at 212. See what Bet365 is at 213, they say up here, but it is at 212.5 as well. Okay, Wham Bam back in action. Let's bring him back up. Now we can't hear you, Wham. Can't hear you. Okay, let's see if we can get. All right, we'll give him a couple. Okay. Okay. All good, Wham. We can't hear you right now, so we'll just keep rolling here. I wonder if the Heat were looking ahead here. Nathan Smith says T-Wolves Heat on a back-to-back. This game doesn't mean as much to the Heat as it does to the Wolves. Dommy Guns locked in his NHL action. I'll copy and paste that for anybody interested. He is back in the Kings here. IQJ says, who's guarding Jimmy? Give me those Heat boys. And let's go here. All right. We've also lost Jose in the back. Why don't we give another try to Wham? Wham, can we hear you? No, your audio is no good. So let me know. Oh, Jose's going to send you a link to another room so we can try and fix it. All right, Wham. Okay, so it looks like Wham is going to move on the under in Heat T-Wolves. But Sharpie says, I'm here for the biggest NCAA basketball roller coaster to ever walk the planet. Banned from Six Flags. Maxwell Smart will be joining us very soon. Let's move on to the next spot. Although I did hear Nizzle liking the Timberwolves, I can understand backing the Timberwolves here. We've won 4 straight. Big opportunity for Minnesota. Tron Hopkins is on Minnesota. Let's move on. God, maybe I'm going to move the T-Wolves as a question mark here. Move on to the next spot on the card, 8 p.m. Eastern. Washington Wizards 11-6, 4-4 on the road at New Orleans Pelicans, 3-16, 2-7 at home. We are at Smoothie Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we're got
good now.
We good. Okay. So you wanted to make a move on this under and Heat T-Wolves?
Yeah, you could lock it in. I think I seen it at 220, 213, but maybe 212 was better juice. So I'll take the 212 if we get better juice there.
I can't find a 213 at this point, but I will look around. I can find the 212.
Yeah, I see it at FanDuel at 213 at -110. Okay,
let's take that then. Under. So Wham moving on the under 213 at -110. All right, let's keep rolling. And do you have any interest in the Timberwolves?
Yeah, I do have interest in the Timberwolves. Let's be honest. Like the Heat really looked bad. That's what I was going to say before our fucking shit written down. Heat really looked bad yesterday. They gave it up a little bit there, so I could see the Timberwolves keeping it consistent there. It's just that are their offense and their shots going to be falling? They do have the mismatches on the wing and I believe in the perimeter, in the paint as well. So we'll see. But I think that I haven't bet it yet, but I'm locked in on the under though. We locked in on the under.
All right, we'll move on to Wizards Pelicans Smoothie Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. Wizards come in off their third loss in 4 games, 109-103 at home to Charlotte on Monday. Pelicans come in off their second straight loss, 110-96 at home to the Timberwolves on Monday night. Astute chaos like in the first half under. Same with Billy Friedrich. Both of them like in this first half under. In this spot, we have 3,265 tickets in, 23% of tickets, 19% of the cash on the Pelicans, 46% of tickets, 79% of cash on the under. Wham, take it away, Wizards, New Orleans.
Yeah, this Wizards game, this is a clear way of looking at the Wizards. I don't know why this number is so short, though. That's the only thing that gets me a little bit sketched. We talked about this after our show, NBA Pub Hub. First game that Babano spoke of was this game. Why are the Wizards holding this points? We know how bad the Pelicans really are. They're really not that good. We probably have Devontae Graham out the lineup as well. He's questionable. I think they maybe sent somebody or something in. The only way I could make reason or make some sense of this number is maybe they're sitting somebody, maybe Dinwiddie or maybe Bill or something of that nature. But if those guys are in this lineup, this should be an easy spot for the Wizards. They've been playing the better defense, of course. They've been scoring at an efficient rate higher than this New Orleans Pelicans team. for the year consistently. And we know that Wes Unseld, I mean, we're not just going to just talk about who's the better of the two coaches. This is guys' first year, both of these guys, so you got to give them some chances here. But Wes Unseld Jr. has been obviously outperforming any other the first year coaches, I would say, so far, from anyone that you think of, Chauncey Billups to Willie Green to any of the other guys there, especially the guy in Orlando. He's been terrible. But talk about the Wizards here. I think the Wizards are live here. They're probably going to get Bertans back. That's better for shooting here. Stops a little bit one of the leaking the holes there because some guys have been a little bit inconsistent on the 3 side. You know how we feel about Kuzma and KCP, but some of those guys can be inconsistent there. So maybe getting Bertans back is going to allow these guys to blow this team out, I believe. Wizards is the only way I'm looking here. Haven't met it yet again, but that's probably the way I will be going here.
And guys in the chat liking this first half under. We've got to keep rolling because college basketball is next. So let's speed this up quickly. Matty Ice looking at that Beal assist prop over 5.5. You like that?
You know what? He's been actually doing this thing there, and I haven't really looked at his last few games there, but most likely I believe that he has been hitting at the last two games, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't really looked at his 5-game stats. That's why I like to look at his last 5-game stats.
All right, let's move forward. And Max, watching basketball in the background. Thank you for your patience, Maxie, my man. Next up, Jazz Thunder. We're at Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Utah Pace, last 5 games, 9th at 98.5 possessions a game. Oklahoma City, 16th at 97.4 possessions a game. Jazz had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 119-118 home loss to the Grizzlies on Monday night. Thunder coming off their 3rd straight loss, 113-101 at Atlanta. We have Jazz as 13-point favorites. We see 12.5 at some books, and this total sitting at 209, anywhere between 208.5 and 209.5. And then from the cash flow here, we have 2,862 tickets in. 70% of the tickets, 89% of the cash on the Jazz. Then 49% of tickets, 75% cash on the over. Wham bam. Here we go. Jazz Thunder, take it away.
This is a big backwood. I'll save us some time here. What I will note is that we did murder the fucking Lou Dort 3-point prop over 2.5 last time at plus 196. Today it's at minus 167. So we definitely beat the line there. That's all I'll say. We keep going.
All right, let's move on to the next thought. Do you think the Jazz are an angry group after that loss, or?
I don't think so, bro. Like, honestly, they were too happy and shit. And there's too many smiles going on over there, man. They're cool with mediocrity, man. Like, they're really not blowing these guys out like they did in that stretch earlier this year or last season when they went on that stretch. I just don't have any confidence in this team. And honestly, the Thunder's been playing really well and are at home. You know, it's kind of suspect there. That's the reason why it's a big backwood for me, though.
Then we have 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 3 games left on this NBA card. Atlanta Hawks 9-9, 1-8 on the road at San Antonio. Spurs 4-12, 2-5 at home. We're at AT&T Center, San Antonio, Texas. Atlanta 17th in pace at 97.1 possessions game, while the Spurs 6th at 100 possessions game. Hawks come off putting the finishing touches on that 5-0 homestand, covering all the games. 113-101 win over Thunder on Monday night. Spurs coming off a 5-game losing streak, 115-111. They lose at home to the Suns on Monday. This is sitting at 4 points right now and not moving with Atlanta as the favorite. And this total has climbed up, opened up at 221.5. And did it really? Wow. The first move for this was to the under. It moved down to 220.5, and then it's been getting hammered up. I wonder if that's real. Is that a real move? It says that it's moved to 2. Sorry, I don't believe it. Yeah, it moved up to 224. Yeah. Holy shit, a huge move towards the over. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, 33,328 tickets, 56% tickets, 53% of the cash on the Hawks, then 57% of tickets, 55% cash on the under, and it's soaring up. Take it away here, Wham Bam, Hawks, Spurs.
I mean, let's be honest, you guys. Are you guys ready to back the 0-9 away team here in the Hawks? Haven't covered yet. They haven't covered yet, and this is a clear spot here for the Spurs that I feel that gave away the first consecutive loss. That they could have broke the streak with the Suns and did everything right. But again, we spoke on it earlier. They shot 25% from 3. Half of their field goal free throw attempts were misses. So they shot 8 for 16 from the free throw line in that game, and they didn't hit any shots. they still only lost by 5 points. Still was able to cover the spread. The Spurs were in that Suns game where the Spurs shot, where the Suns shot 40% from three. They were out there still hooping, but they just did everything on the grittier side as far as getting turnovers, getting points off of turnovers. The Spurs team I like a lot. I'm not going to lie. I like the Spurs team a lot. They had Devin Vassell. Now, we did cash the Devin Vassell over 12.5 points. I like to give myself a pat on the back because right after the loss, the boy goes out there and calls a players only meeting because they've just been losing badly against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who's been playing exceptional defense, and to the Suns team, who's on a 14-game winning streak. Come on, bro. This is clearly a fucking Spurs spot. I'm definitely putting this in as an official bet. I like the Spurs here. I want to take Devin Vassell over any of this, though, because I do believe he's going to continue to go over any 12 to 14.5 amount of points. They don't have it available to me yet, so that's the reason why I haven't bet that yet. But I am on the Spurs just because I do like the team in general. And against this team in the Hawks, who did hold the last opponent to 11 points in the third quarter, which is really good defense. And shit don't happen often in the NBA, so they're not going to hold this team to that type of defense. John Collins said they're going to try to translate that to the road. Y'all ain't doing that shit. Y'all 0-9 on the ATS against the road. Y'all not about to start this streak. You're not going to break the streak against Pop team off of players only meeting, off of these young kids balling out. I just love the Spurs here in this spot. And especially I love Devin Vassell. So Devin Vassell will probably be my best bet of this game. It's not available yet. Probably going to come out available towards tip-off. So I will make that addition there. But for right now, we could just lock in the Spurs +4. That's the way I will be betting here.
See, I have a fear, and Dan Kelly mentioned, they said, or did the Hawks turn it around on their 5 straight wins in the homestand that just
At
ended?
the house, bro. At the house, bro.
Yes, I get it, but you get into a rhythm finally. And whether or not they can turn it on here, we'll see. That's my only fear. That's my only fear with your look here. I got -115 at Bet365, but I'm sure we can find better than that. Let me just take a look here. The +4.
But I see at -114. So it is pretty just let me see. Yeah, but Bovada has that -115 as well. Let me check Bookmaker.
Cool. Fine. See, let's get the best spot here. Billy Friedrich liking Hawks first quarter and first half. I mean, the issue I have here is that, I know that the Spurs do the players meeting, which is very important, but the Hawks know what's been going wrong. It's not like they're not talking about this. They're saying, look, we keep getting beaten on the road. I feel like they're going to come out alert here in this first quarter. +4 -108 at Bookmaker. Thank you very much,
For
Billy.
sure. Appreciate that.
+4 -108. I feel like the Hawks are going to come out hungry right off the top to try and change this storyline of them not being able to take care of business. I'm going to put a question mark to Hawks first quarter, but I think psychologically they're going to want to change this narrative. Let's move on
about
to
their road woes, about their road woes, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about a team that has leadership, and then they do, so they know everybody's talking about how bad they've been on the road. I mean, this is going to be front and center. I mean, it's going to be, the more I talk about this, the more I'm moving towards Hawks first quarter. Billy Friedrich on Hawks first quarter and first half. I think the homestand carries over, and I'm going to move on the Hawks first quarter as a bet I'm going to make when the show ends. Next move is 10 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia 76ers 10-8, 6-4 on the road at Golden State Warriors, 15-2, 9-1 at home. We're at Chase Center in San Francisco, California. Philly paced 25th over the last 5 games, 95.3 possessions a game, while the Warriors are playing 21st fastest at 96.7 possessions a game. Right now, we have the Warriors 10.5 and the total at 217 at Bet365. Going over to Pinnacle is a 10.5 as well. Let's move over to spreads and totals. And we have this total sitting at 216 -114 over at Pinnacle. So Warriors coming off their 4th straight win, 119-104 at home over the Raptors on Sunday. Philly comes in off their second win in 3 games, 102-94 at Sacramento on Monday. And we have 85% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the Warriors, 71% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over. Wham Bam, Warriors, Sixers. Let's roll.
Man, it's been terrible sledding for the Sixers team this year, obviously, without Ben Simmons. Taking a injury hit with Embiid, which they do every year, so they should kind of be used to it. But, I mean, I think this season alone just highlights how badly coached this team really is, like how badly Doc Rivers really is as a coach. He's not really that good. And in this game, particularly, I'm just thinking that he's just going to get exploded on. Like, he's just going to get exploited here. Like, I just only see Steve Kerr and staff doing wonders against this guy with guys that you normally, don't see blow all the way to fuck up. I mean, but they've been blowing up lately. Andrew Wiggins been playing really well. Jordan Poole has been finding his stride. Talking about all these guys, and then they're going to probably get Clay back at Christmas here. So this has been very positive for these guys as of late for the Golden State Warriors. So they're in a happy space. And this team that's going on the road to play these guys, they're not really that much happy unless they found their local weed store on the corner there for the Sixers. They probably did do something of that nature here. But in this game here, I just don't. Only way I would think is taking Golden State in the second half. I think they can possibly cover this number, the 76ers. But will I be putting my money on here on this team that's pretty much depleted at injury here? They have been playing all right there. I guess you could say defensively there. They haven't really been that bad there, but they haven't been that damn good either. I mean, as far as 23rd, they're 23rd in defensive rating, but I believe they have been playing a little bit better on the guard and the perimeter here. And a lot of that has to do with Matisse Thybulle coming back there as well. So I don't know, man. I just think that this team in the Sixers is tough to back here with this big number. Maybe only if you're playing, you got to be laying here. And Golden State is probably the only way here. They've been top in a lot of the categories that we look at as far as 3-point percentage, guarding the perimeter, and points in the paint. So they've been pretty much holding it down there. Only thing, and again, their team total, I was just going to say, and they've been scoring at a high rate. Their team total has been cashing as well. So shout out to the guy putting that in the chat there. That's the only way I would be looking here is laying. If I'm playing, I'm laying, bro.
Yeah, I get it. And we got Curry on Curry. It's and
Curry on Curry.
There's a ton of cash right now on the over in this spot. 71% of tickets, 90% of the cash. Let's move on to the final game on the card. 10 p.m. Eastern. Portland Trailblazers 10-8, 1-7 on the road at Sacramento Kings. 6-12, 2-7 at home. Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Kings coming off losing their fourth straight game in Alvin Gentry's debut as a head coach. 102-94 at home to those Sixers on Monday night. Portland comes in off their fourth straight win. 119-100 at home over the Nuggets last night. It was a very easy bet. Just feels like the Blazers are coming together, and who knows how these Sacramento Kings are going to react. Portland right now just 2-point favorites. All they have to do is go in here and win. This total sitting at 227. We have 69% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Blazers, and then 70% of tickets, 60% cash on the under. Does Portland just keep winning here, or is there the dangers of backing a team on the second half of the back-to-back rear its ugly head?
This is another team that we're talking about just being bad on the road as far as a favorite and a dog. Just a team that's just been bad on the road as far as this Portland Trailblazers team. But let's be honest, like you said, they've been cooking lately, man. They've been doing what they've been holding it down, if I would say. They've been holding it down there. As a away team, though, they're 1-7 against the spread. Do you think they'll be able to do it against this team? Alvin Gentry-led team that's pretty much going to allow you to score on offense, but can you stop them on defense there? Can we get the Blazers to play some defense and lock this Kings team down? That's the question, really, in this spot. Are they going to play defense better than this Alvin Gentry-led team? My guy Babano probably would say yes, but this is a fucking terrible spot here, I believe, for the Blazers. I do think that they are hot, though, so it may be a good triumphant win by playing with effort. If you're going to get some type of effort from these guys, I think you're going to get it here in this spot. I would lay it with the Blazers here. That's the only way I would be looking.
Gentry has changed the defensive intensity of these Sacramento Kings. Why wouldn't we move on the under here? It's moved to 225 here. Wow, moved to 225 at Bet365. Why would we not move on the under here when we've seen what Gentry's doing?
I just don't think that Gentry is going to do that long. Like it's not sustainable, honestly. I mean, it's his first game. Obviously, him being added onto the coaching staff there. I just don't like I don't know what they're doing here as far as who they have, as far as personnel and how they're using them. You know what I mean? Like, they're not using them right.
Interesting spot here because you have both the Blazers and the Hawks in very, very similar situations. All right, we're going to have additions from Wham Bam here. He's going to be on the NBA Pub at 4 p.m. Eastern. At this point, not a lot of action. Dan Kelly is on the first half team total under for the Orlando Magic. I'm going to run with that as well. I'm going to roll with that. We have some interest in the Patty Mills prop. He did move on to Christian Wood over 16.5 points at plus 100 in Bulls Rockets. I have interest in the Bucks first quarter team total over 29.5. I have. You moved on the under 213 and Heat Timberwolves.
Yeah, I just bet that. Right now. 213.
Under 213 and minus 110. Let me copy and paste Dan Kelly's action here. Thank you, Dan, for sharing your hard work with us. And then Wizards, New Orleans, nothing. Jazz, Thunder, nothing. Wham has moved on the Spurs plus 4 at minus 108. I'm going to move on the Hawks first quarter. I do believe there's leadership in that room to change this narrative. Then Sixers, Golden State Warriors, nothing at this point. And I have interest in the under 225 at Portland, Sacramento. We will both tweet out our action. Wham Bam, what a giant, tough card. I'm sure your show is going to be incredible today at 4 p.m. on NBA Pub Hub. Thank you for sharing your hard work and insights with us. Follow this man at Trot Wam. Wham Bam, do you have any last words for these great cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, man. Happy Wham Talk Wednesday. Hope everyone cash and does their due diligence here. Hopefully we don't get burnt on any injuries there as well. And let's keep this shit going, man. Let's keep rolling, keep positively rolling. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Thank you, Jimmy, as well, bro. Always a pleasure.
Oh, much love, Wham Bam. Great to have you. We had such a long NFL show last night, and it's just been a big, very big grind, this card today. And so it's great to have your help. Next up, we have the Cupcake King joining the show. Coming off yet another winning day, running hot. His look on Portland first half at plus 175 was a thing of beauty. 31 and 25 on the show, hitting at 55.4%, plus 4.96 units, ROI plus 8.86%, average line minus 101. Cliff Yang says, I'm new to this channel, but love the show, my man. Lots of info. Well, Cliff, what we promise you is honesty, transparency, and we have fun. And your next guest does all of that, and we'll never sell you anything, Cliff. Nothing. Just want you to cap with us and beat the books. Please welcome to the show, Maxwell Smart in the house. Max, how are you, my man? Thank you so much for your patience. Oh, you're on mute, my guy.
I am on mute because I have been watching you work, and it is obviously always magnificent to see you. I swear I could see sweat coming from underneath your hat. Are you sweaty right now?
I'm not sweating right now, although
okay.
I started perspiring when I realized some of those markets had moved so fast against me in NHL. I did sweat then. So that's the only time really that I sweat is when a move goes against me.
I sweat for many other reasons and many other occasions. We won't get into that right now, but I'll say this. I'm hungry for cupcakes. I lost half a pound, and I want to put on a full pound today. So let's get some.
Let's get some, but let me just go over this one more time. The Portland look, fucking incredible. Fucking incredible.
Thank you.
We got to enjoy these victories because the losses hurt more than the victories feel good. And that was just a thing of goddamn beauty, Maxwell Smart. Goddamn beauty. All right, we start 2 p.m. Eastern. This game pops off in 28 minutes. Coppin State Eagles 1-7, 0-7 on the road at Canisius Golden Griffins. We go to Buffalo, New York for this. Coppin State comes in off their second straight loss, 65-62 at Cleveland State on Monday. Canisius also faced Cleveland State on the road on Saturday and lost 80-70. They're coming off an easy 106-40 win at Div 9 Fredonia State. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with from a market standpoint here. Move over to college basketball, get these spreads and totals up, and let's roll. Again, this game popping off in 28 short minutes. We have nothing. Is it off the board? Max? I don't have
it. Should be on there still. The game hasn't started for another half an hour.
Yeah, I know it's still coming up, but not on. God,
Are you looking in the extra games?
I'll move over. No, I'm just looking at my at SBR that has all the games, and it doesn't have anything there. But here I have it at Bet365. Canisius 10-point favorites in this total at 146.5, Max. So I'm not sure what it opened at because they don't have any of these games on this site at this point. But take it away, my man. Coppin State Canisius.
Yeah, this is a Coppin State team that we've learned to love to bet as a big 20-point dog. And when we get them into this situation at this number, it can be a little trickier. But I do think that with this Coppin State team, they are just a big gamble. We want to see them hit a lot of threes, get a lot of tempo, and we need them to have a better first half start than they have been. I think tonight this is an opportunity and an opponent where I don't like the fact that they have such a big number in front of them. I think that with Coppin State, while they're not going to be uber efficient from the 3-point line, they are going to hit a fair share of them. They're going to put up a whole bunch of them. And Canisius, what we've learned to expect with them, where we usually think they're a little more slow pace, slow tempo team, that really isn't the case. They're always trying to go fast. It's just a matter of the circumstances arising for them to do so. I think both these teams are going to get to the free throw line a fair deal, and I think that both of them are going to produce their own second chance opportunities. This is a Coppin State team with some pretty nice scores if they get hot in Nende Tark and Jesse Zarzuela, but I just think that it's a lot of points. I'd rather take Coppin State than I'd rather take Canisius, and with the number moving 2.5 points in favor of the over, Jim, from 144 where it opened, I'm still liking the over here. I'm still liking the over. So let's line shop for a first half over, Jim, and let's move on from there.
All right, I'm going to pull up FanDuel and a couple other sites. I probably should have had them up already for you to line shop. I will be line shopping again. This game pops off at 25 minutes. We're going to line shop for an over. Were you close to moving on Coppin State?
I've moved on Coppin State first half and full game. I'm just not sure that I really want to give it out as an official show pick to count on my record.
Okay. All right. I get it. We're going to get you that first half over line shopping wise. Let's move on. The next spot on Max's card, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, the battle for Atlantis. His UConn Huskies in play here. This game pops off in 55 minutes. They're 4-0 going up against the Auburn Tigers. We're in Nassau, Bahamas. UConn was opened up its season with 4 very easy wins, all by at least 24 points against inferior opposition. They're coming off an 87-63 win over Binghamton on Saturday night. That's the closest game they've had all year. Auburn comes in off a much tougher 58-52 win at South Florida on Friday. Move this over. We have, and I'm not sure if this is as up-to-date as we'd like it, but I've got Connecticut -2.5 and -104, and this total sitting at 142 at Pinnacle. Max, take it away. Your Huskies in action.
All right. Well, let me tell you this. Bruce Pearl, he's wearing a shirt tonight. He won't be showing you his tanned old man body. So don't worry. Your visuals will not be impaired by that fucking sight. And I'll tell you this. You know what? Just based off the 2 schools involved in this game, how can you not want to get down with UConn? All right, when you look out a window at the University of Connecticut, you are not going to see a cow taking a shit. Can you say that about every campus at Auburn? I don't think so. So I'm all over UConn. Yes, Jim, they've had a bunch of cupcakes, but let's not forget South Florida is a cupcake themselves, and the cupcake that you really don't want to eat. It's like a 3-day-old that's still in the display as a, I guess, menu item. So I'll just tell you this. UConn's big man, Adama Sanogo, he's coming in. He's going up against Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler, and he's going to eat them alive. Defensively, we already know what an amazing rim protector is, and him and a Cook playing on the floor together, it's going to be impossible to score near the rim, and the only thing that's going to plague UConn is over-aggressiveness, not staying on your feet, not moving your feet, but moving your hands and moving your arms. I think that we've seen a little bit of a scare in that Binghamton game. There definitely was a lull in offense, and I think that we're going to see Tyrese Martin be a little more assertive. And I just love how deep this team is. You got all kinds of experience. We got all kinds of youth involved in this team. Rashul Diggins and freaking Samson Johnson. And of course, the difference maker in this game, Jim, is Jordan Hawkins. 6'4", looks like he's going to be a beast of a scorer for UConn. He's the X factor today. I'm a homer. I'm a UConn fan, and I'm taking UConn -2.5. Fuck you, Auburn. The only Alabama school I get down with is Nick Saban's Roll Tide Roll.
I love the breakdown. By the way, I can get you a first half over 69.5, and I can get that at -108. Pinnacle's got that juice to -114, but I can get it for you at -108. Is that okay?
All right. Yeah, lock me in, bud.
All right, let's get your UConn spot here at -2.5. Just going to move over and see if I can get you the least amount of juice. -2.5 and -111 over at FanDuel. When we bring up, sorry, that's over at Pinnacle. And I will see what FanDuel is here shortly. And we have, let's see what FanDuel is offering. -2.5 and -108. So it's a little bit better there. So we'll give you that -2.5 on UConn. The first big test of the year for this group, -2.5, -108. And by the way, I've hit 7 straight winners tailing Max, and not every bet he makes, but choosing and picking and seeing if it correlates with the way I see a game, banging out, capping the capper, and all that stuff. 7 straight winners, and I needed it because now I'm just 15-12 on the year. You know, we didn't get out of the gate too hot, so I'm 15-12, 2.15 units in the plus, ROI plus 7.96%, average line -101. All right, let's move on to the next spot on Max's board, and this is also popping off in under an hour. 2:30 p.m. Eastern, the Naples Invitational. James Madison Dukes 5-1 versus the Murray State Racers 4-1. We're at Mo Kent Family Fieldhouse in Naples, Florida. Both teams are playing in their third game in 3 days. James Madison bounced back from a 74-69 loss to Kent State by defeating Wright State 78-76 last night. Murray State also lost their tournament opener 66-58 to East Tennessee State before bouncing back by hammering Long Beach 80-43. 80-43. Let's move over to the market right now. You can get Murray State -4.5, but it's heavily juiced to Pinnacle at -117 with the total at 138. Max, take it away. Naples Invitational action, Dukes Racers.
Yeah, Jim, I think that with both these teams, we like to think that this is going to be over city with both of them, but clearly we've seen that that hasn't been the case. On the third day in these showcases, you do see a lot more three-point shots put up. I think that's definitely a sign of fatigue. And I'm hoping that James Madison doesn't really have that problem. They do have a lot of depth on this team, and they're getting some development from Justin Amati, which is definitely needed because they're a team that plays small. They play sometimes 4-out, 5-out type offense, and they need someone at like 6'8" or taller to be able to run the floor, be able to score on the baseline, and then be able to give you some defense on the other end. I think that the key for James Madison is just taking the right shot. Over and over again yesterday when I'm watching Vado Morse, the Mount St. Mary transfer, handle the ball and taking shots, I'm like, listen, like, why don't you swing it and go side to side? Let's get that defense off balance. And you got a guy from Winthrop and Charles Falden that can fucking knock down a 3-point shot for you. So I think that shot attempts and shot allocation was a major issue, and they were very lucky that they were able to come back against Wright State. As we are seeing today, a lot of people can come back against Wright State. Long Beach did also, and they're going to beat them. So I just have to look at it like this. James Madison's going up against a Murray State team that should have won yesterday. If you stop the guard play from Carter Collins, Trey Hannibal, and Tevin Brown, I can accept getting beat by KJ Williams. Not to the tune of 29 points, but 20 or something, and I'm good with that. I think James Madison goes in. I think that plus 4.5 or whatever number you can get me right now, Jim, full game would be good. And we're going to go with a first half money line shot. fading the trend that they are going to come out flat and have a bad first half. So I want a plus money price on that first half money line.
Let's get it for you. By the way, FanDuel has that plus 4.5 at -114, but Pinnacle has that plus 4.5 at plus 100. So let's give you that no juice full game on James Madison. James Madison plus 4.5 at plus 100. And then let's get you a first half money line. First half money line right now is plus 147 at Pinnacle. And let's compare that to FanDuel here very quickly. First half money line, they aren't offering it. They are not offering it. They've done that before, not offered the money lines. I'm going to shop around. I wonder if I can get you a better than plus 147. But let's move on to your next game, or your final game here on the card. So, but for everybody who wants action right now in the afternoon, those are the 3 afternoon games that all pop off within the next hour. So he's on the first half over 69.5 in Coppin State Canisius. That game pops off in 15 minutes. Then UConn -2.5 and -108. That game pops off in 45, as does James Madison plus 4.5 at plus 100. The final game on Max's card here is the Zoo Town Classic. UC San Diego, the Tritons, 4-2, 2-0 on the road at Montana Grizzlies, 2-2, 2-0 at home. We're at Dahlberg Arena in Missoula, Montana. UC San Diego coming off their 4th straight double-digit victory to open the season, winning at Sacramento 71-56 on Saturday, while Montana snapped their 2-game losing streak with an easy 68-47 win at home versus Omaha on Saturday. Let me just move this here and give a market here on this game. That this one pops off at 9:30 Eastern. 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and now 5.5-point favorites are Montana. 5.5-point favorites. Interesting. Montana 5.5-point favorites, and this total dropping quickly. It says, I don't know if I can confirm that, but they're saying here that it's down to 139.5 from 142.5. Max, take it away. UC San Diego, Montana Grizzlies.
Yes, I will. But before we get to that, Jim, I'll say that there is a plus 155 on the first half money line at Bet365. That's what I bet.
Okay.
And I'll also say this. I want to add a little money line parlay with my UConn Huskies. And I would like to do that right now before we start. So I'm going to take UConn, and then I'm going to take St. Louis on the money line. And it's going to be a plus 166 money line parlay.
UConn and St. Louis at plus 166 for Max. Locked in, my man. Great work.
Thank you, sir.
Let's move on to the San Diego, Montana spot.
All right. So with UC San Diego, Tony Rodick is one of the most impressive guys on the West Coast that not a lot of people know about. He is consistently able to give you 20 and 10. And I always talk about him to anybody that I talk about UC San Diego basketball with. I think that when you combine his ability to give you that balance of outside shooting and then a guy down low who can go and one every time down the floor, it is really hard to say no to. It is definitely feasible to expect Montana to be able to provide a level of resistance to him, but going up against Josh Owens and Josh Bannon, I don't really know if their physicality and size is going to win out against him. So for me, I have to look at UC San Diego in this spot. I think that they are adapting more and more every game that they play at the D1 level with the skill and strength. And I think that their hot shooting could be the difference, because we know Montana, what they do struggle with outside of Brandon Whitney is consistent offense from the backcourt. Josh Bannon's coming off a big 24-point game. If they can limit him to maybe 2/3 of that, I think that UC San Diego can win this game, and I think that they're good on the spread. So first half money line, full game spread, please.
All right, we can get you the full game at plus 5.5. Full game plus 5.5 for San Diego. +5.5, and that's with very little juice. I will line chop and see if I can beat that, but that's at -103, +5.5 at -103, and I will look for first half money line right now to see what Pinnacle is offering, and then I will line chop there as well. Right now, first half money line at UC San Diego is +151. I wonder if we can beat that, but we'll put that in right now for UC San Diego. First half of +151. I'll look at a couple other spots. While we are doing that, I'd like to ask Max about the taint play of the day. Baylor, Arizona State, over 140.5. It was a heartbreaking loss last night that you deserve to cash on Cincinnati +5. The taint play of the day in right now at under 140.5 in Baylor, Arizona State. What do you think of Taint's look on the under in the Baylor game, Max?
I think Taint is going to be on a really sexy blonde, and it's going to be cash money. I like the look a lot.
Okay. All right. But what a battle this has been. It's nice to have some levity from our man Maxwell Smart. 31 games capped on this show after our NFL show last night. So it's been a lot of work. Mike M says taint line dropping feels a lot like Zags last night, where the late movement kept us from cashing by a couple baskets. John Garcia says, I'm thankful for Max on Thanksgiving. So taint play today, Baylor, ASU over 140.5. Sorry, I might have said that wrong, but ASU over 140.5 for taint. And review of Max's action. So Max is on the first half over 69.5 -108 in Coppin State Canisius. He's on UConn -2.5 -108. UConn St. Louis moneyline parlay. Billy Friedrich did find that for you at Bookmaker at +168, 2 cents better. And then James Madison +4.5 at +100. James Madison first half money line at +155. San Diego full game at +5.5 -103. I am going to line shop for this last one once this show's over. And first half money line at +151. Maxwell Smart can be seen Monday through Friday on NCAA Net Profits alongside Connor Mack. Max, absolutely great job. Thank you so much for rolling with us, my man. Follow him on Twitter at CBMS420. Max, Barney, I did accidentally say the taint was the under. It's my fault. I'm just lacking sleep in a big way. It is the over 140.5. I'll pop that here on the screen here. The over 140.5. I apologize, Barney. Taint play today. Baylor, ASU over 140.5. From Matty Ice. Max, thank you so much for joining us. Any last words for these great cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, obviously appreciate you for supporting the show. Check out Connor and I at 5 p.m. Eastern for your evening action. I may be slapping myself with something white, maybe mayonnaise, maybe whipped cream, who knows? But you'll have to watch to find out. And Jim, great job on the show today. You are a soldier, and I'm just glad that we get you to freaking lead us. And let's fuck with our eyes open. Let's eat cupcakes and don't dip your chicken tenders in honey mustard.
Beautiful work. Maxwell Smart in the house, coming off another winning day. And next up for Max is double-digit units up. I'd like Max to be up double-digit units so he can relax. Look, we like having our cappers on edge because they seem to take it. I don't know, being on edge makes you a little sharper at times, but I also like it when you can relax knowing that you're up quite a bit. Newark says, just came back to watch the replay and you're still live, Jimmy. What a battle. What a battle. Tomorrow will be a little bit easier and it will be Thanksgiving. Let's review all action right now. And NHL did not go well for me. I am adding the Bruins -1.5 at +105, and I may be adding the Ducks first period at +167. I'm on the Flyers first period. This market just went completely opposite me. Cannot believe how bad it makes me feel. And this is when I start sweating, when I think of this market going so heavy against me. Unbelievable. I'm on the Wild -1. That market went against me too at +122. Gogster's on the Capitals in regulation at -117. I'm on the Jets -1 at +122 as well. Gogster's on the Jets first period, and look, the Sharps are on the other side with Columbus. Gogster's on the first period over 1.5 and the over 5.5 in Blues Red Wings. And I'm on Vegas -1 at +105. That's the only market move I did beat. Gogster's on the Knights first period at +105. I am going to add the Ducks first period at +167. I am going to add that. Then Gogster added the Oilers -1.5 at +132. I'm on the under 5.5 at -115 on Leafs Kings. Then the first period over 1.5 at -120 and the over 5.5 in Hurricanes Kraken is Gogsters. And then we've left that San Jose Ottawa game alone. In NBA, I have all of Dan Kelly's looks. I'll go over them here in a second, but Wham is on Christian Wood over 16.5 points at +100. I'm interested in this Bucks first quarter team total over 29.5, and I think I will move on it. Wham is on the under 213 at -110 and Heat Timberwolves. I do have some interest in the Timberwolves. Some. Wham is on the Spurs +4 at -108. I am moving on the Hawks first quarter. Then the under 225 I find interesting in Portland, Sacramento. I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time on it. Dan Kelly's on the Suns first half at -4. Orlando first half team total under 53. Memphis -3 full game. Memphis team total over 110. Full game Atlanta, San Antonio under 224. The taint play today is Baylor, Arizona State over 140.5. Over 140.5. Apologize for messing that up. First half over 69.5. Coppin State, Canisius. UConn -2.5 -108. UConn St. Louis parlay at +168. James Madison +4.5 at +100. James Madison first half money line +155. San Diego full game +5.5 -103. And the first half +151 in the Zootown Classic. There you have it. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us today. It means the world to all of us. And while I do whine about the amount of work that it takes to have these games prepped for you guys, you inspire me all the time, and I love it. And I'm so thankful to have this opportunity to work with you guys. So thank you so much. Shout out to all of you guys supporting the show. Billy Friedrich, Puzzler. We got Striker, Real Deal, Prime, Joseph Gomez, Sammy Comer, Nathan Stern, a Nuke Worker, T-Mac, Goiper, Matty Ice, Barney. And sorry about that with just losing my shit here. All of you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go check out this house. Getting messages from my girl right now saying a lot of people are looking at it. We're going to try to lock down this house so that I can have some freedom, a little bit of freedom while we cap these shows. Don't have Ella coming up here and Carter crying for titty. But thank you guys for
even the best part of the show.
Thank you guys for being patient with me when those situations do arise. I love you guys. I'm very thankful. Yes, John Garcia, there's a show, baby. You kidding me? Of course there's a show. It's always going to be a show, man.
Jimmy's a slave driver.
We don't celebrate. Now, Jose can have the day off. Jose, you can have the day off. You need it probably, right? Thanksgiving, you take the day off. Take the day off.
I'm going to be here, Jimmy. Don't you worry.
Okay. Well, I love you guys. On behalf of all of us here at Pub Sports Radio, let's go. We went 10-5 yesterday, plus 4.5 units. It felt really fucking good, man. It felt really fucking good. Let's get more of that shit. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers!
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.